बॉनी की माँ फाइनली मर जाती है.
My
Like,
God.
yeah, I'm like, do it already, kill the woman. I'm, I really don't care.
I love you, Mom.
मुझे तुम स्पून फीड क्यों कर रहे हो,
Yeah,
वो भी
yeah.
लास्ट एपिसोड में.
Be my polite
आई
son.
डोंट केयर. मुझे ये बताओ सिलेस्ट का क्या होता है. बुढ़िया मर गई तो मर गई. Hi everyone, welcome to Big Little Lies discussion season 2. Last time we discussed the first season, and that video is up on our channel for anybody who's interested to watch it. Before we start, we'll do a quick recap. It'll help us to remember where the characters are now as well. I think we'll just start with where season 1 ended. That way we will be able to figure out where they are at the beginning of season 2. We'll go character by character. I'll talk about one and then others can join in and talk about other characters. Well, the main spotlight was on Celeste at the end. So I think we can, start from there that she, after going through all of the kind of trauma that she went through, at the beginning of season 2, we see her still reeling from everything that happened. We see that she has somebody to help her with her twins, and that character is the highlight of season 2, Meryl Streep, who plays Mary Louise. So that's one of the new characters that we are introduced to. Apart from that, Celeste is in a mess, to say the least. Season 1 was all about them trying to hide what happened to Perry, how did he die, all of those things. And now she is trying her best to keep it together, figure out her life without Perry, and at the same time take care of her 2 children. So that's where Celeste is at. I think we can discuss maybe Madeline next. Deval, why don't you tell us about Madeline?
This is not a quiz, so no points.
Madeline is a usual chaotic self in this season as well. But what I found the most endearing is how supportive she is. I felt that she was also a very strong person who was holding the entire group together. And not just creating chaos. कलेश नहीं कर रही थी ये वाले season में. She was doing the ulta of it. And what is Laura Dern's character's name? I'm sorry, I'm just forgotten her name.
Renata.
Renata, yeah.
Renata
So that entire equation that had flipped 180-degree with this was her equation with Renata. So that was
Yeah.
quite
Also,
endearing to watch.
we realize somewhere in the middle of season 1 that she's the one who first said that nobody pushed him.
Yes.
Nobody pushed
Yes.
him. And then Renata's the one who joins in and supports her to say, yes, nobody pushed him.
Pushed him.
So they sort of have some solidarity when it, comes to that incident.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're right about that. But what about Madeline's personal life, her family?
Yeah, I mean, we finally, I mean, not finally, really. I never liked her first husband. And the constant, and I was not able to understand how that man landed two great women. And we see how Bonnie is struggling with her guilt and everything. And there also, I felt Madeline was trying to help, but because of their equation, of course, Bonnie was not really in mood to accept anybody's help. She wanted to live with her guilt, and that was also taking over and her entire journey of loneliness was something that, I mean, she wanted to do the right thing, and she was also conflicted about ratting out the entire group and all, right? So Bonnie's journey in itself was a parallel track that was going on, and then there was this entire chaos also happening with but how she was supportive of everything that Celeste was going through. I mean, in the first season, it was very surprising that Madeline also was not aware of what was really going on
Yeah.
in her life, and I think she stepped up in the second season, maybe because she also was feeling guilty that, being her closest friend, always saying that she's the best friend, and she was not aware about all of that. So I think that was a great
Yeah.
arc in her character.
Yeah, and it surprises you as well that somebody who Madeline didn't even know really well,
Yeah.
Jane, she goes through a lot just to help her out.
Yeah.
But one of her closest, oldest friends, Celeste, she is not able to tell Madeline what's happening in her life. So Madeline just assumes her life is perfect, her husband's perfect, kids are fine, and everything starts sort of unraveling. But even when that happens,
Yeah.
Madeline still doesn't doubt that something's not okay with Perry and Celeste.
Yeah. Yeah. That's right.
Yeah.
And also
So
that Mary Lewis would have intimidated Celeste more if Madeline wasn't around. That was what I felt. Because Madeline and they were at loggerheads since the first episode, where Mary Lewis said
yeah,
that I know you and I know the kind of person you are, and that entire car drive wala episode, right, where she turns up to help Celeste when she's had that
yeah,
accident and all, and I mean, so she stands up to her so firmly. नहीं तो Mary Lewis may have intimidated Celeste a lot more, and कुछ उगलवा भी लेती if it was not Madeline.
yeah. Like, and it reminded me a lot of how the way Perry used to react to Madeline.
Yeah, yeah,
I think Perry's reaction to Madeline was more subdued compared to Mary Louise. But
yes,
you know that scene also in season one where Madeline is at their house, Celeste and Perry's house, and he comes back from work, Perry, and he's not happy to see Madeline.
yeah,
And and Madeline gets the point and she decides to leave. So I don't know exactly what the equation is like, but you realize Perry doesn't like her. And
yeah, yeah, yeah. That's true.
and even yeah, and because of Madeline, Celeste decides to um fight the case for Madeline,
Yes,
and that makes it even worse for Perry. So
yeah,
I was wondering if Perry told his mother about Madeline, maybe, at some point. So she sort of, even if she hasn't met Madeline much,
yeah.
maybe she has an impression of her because Perry must have said something about her.
But Nandini, you should also. I mean, one thing that I also felt was Mary Lewis was not completely a white character. Okay, she herself had a lot of gray in her past. तो मुझे ऐसा
Of
लगता है
course.
the way Perry
Yeah.
was as a person was lot because of her, which is why she did not like Madeline more than Perry might have talked to her about it, because that was
No,
one of
no.
the complaints she had, no?
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. There's no denying. But I just said that because she hasn't met Madeline as many times.
Exactly, correct. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So that's
But
why I thought that maybe that could also be one of the reasons that both of them don't like Madeline,
yeah,
Okay,
Perry and
yeah,
Mary
to say.
Louise. Yeah.
yeah.
Oh yeah, I
And they
don't. Sorry to interrupt.
no
मेरे को
no.
नहीं लगता कि जो मेरी पेरी was the kind of guy जो मम्मी को जाके बताएगा
हाँ,
कि Madeline. I have absolutely zero reasons to believe that, because Perry seems to be very petrified of Mary himself, right? Not comfortable around her.
Of course. Of
So I
course.
don't
But
think वो Madeline तक की बात, in the sense that he would even know that Madeline exists. That's what I'm saying, trying to say. I don't think she would
she
even be
knows,
aware
she
that.
knows her. She of course knows her from the beginning itself. It's established that Mary Louise knows Madeline.
Yeah.
But that is established in the first episode, na, when they meet
meet
and
at the funeral.
हाँ, we
No,
met
no,
at
I
the
think
funeral.
she knows her as Celeste's friend. ऐसे करके
हाँ,
she knows her already.
So
They
knowing
meet.
that she
They
is
meet
Celeste's friend and
Devendra
disliking her
Sunil.
to this extent was not something that was normal, because Celeste had other support system also. But what my take from that was like when Perry somewhere felt that Madeline's friendship with her his wife,
Hmm.
is also something that, which is why he will not have complete control over Celeste.
Yeah,
So
Yeah.
the
yeah,
same Mary Louise might have also felt that what she is expecting her from Celeste as a mother, she may not be completely able to do that because of Madeline being around.
yeah,
Yep.
yeah. And also the way, I mean, moving on to Mary Louise, because since her name has come up, so from Madeline, moving on to Mary Louise, she gives you that vibe that some relatives give you, where
Yeah.
they judge people so quickly. Like they've just met you once, and she's like, I don't like short people. I had a friend who was short, and I did not like her, and I do not like you. I'm like, yeah, what is that? Yeah.
She she judges almost everyone in the very first meeting या पहले glance
Yeah,
में.
yeah, we told this. I told about this, right? कि पूरा गांव वाले आंटियों की याद दिलाता है मुझे.
Yeah.
Ah, seriously.
पहले
And
पहले
with everybody,
connection से
like
ही.
with, yeah, like with Jane, she notices that, okay, Jane is a single mother, she's struggling. Immediately, she has, she's feeling sorry for her. She
Yeah.
thinks that she's doing a good job because in a way, she thinks that, oh, I've also been a single
Single
mother,
mom.
and I've also have had to, do this, go through this difficult period. That immediate sympathy comes in. And with Renata, she, like, I mean, this happens later on,
Yeah.
but with Renata's trying to sort of help Jane with this whole situation. Not Jane, sorry, Celeste.
Celeste.
And Mary Louise can see that Renata is not in a good place.
Yep.
And it's like she sees it. She's like, oh, here's your weakness. Let me just shoot an arrow. She's really mean. Really, really mean.
Yeah, and I think Mary Louise took the role of being everybody's mother-in-law throughout the season.
Yeah. A
He,
common mother-in-law. Yeah.
Oh my God.
It's not even एक होता है ना कि चलो देखा जज किया मतलब उसे बोलना भी है बताना भी है कि
exactly, exactly.
I've noticed this and I'll say it point blank to your face and make you feel bad about yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I like the way Meryl Streep played her. She could
Yeah.
have been, this high-pitched, annoying,
Yeah.
maybe very, very expressive person. But the way she kept it subtle,
Creepy.
yeah, made it even more like, okay, you can't trust this woman. And
Exactly.
I think the creepiest thing for me is how she got information out of kids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
From the twins and from Ziggy. It was so scary. I mean, she knew that Jane had a gun because Ziggy told her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And everything. I mean, thankfully the twins, you know, didn't show her the video that eventually we'll talk about. But
Yeah.
um, I'm so, I mean, that whole thing with the twins and how she was so manipulative when it came to the kids towards Celeste. And she did it, she did the whole thing about, planning to file a case against Celeste in such a methodical manner.
Yeah.
Uh, which was a little odd to me in the beginning because, and then at the same time, I thought, okay, maybe she just wanted it really badly, or maybe even that lawyer helped her, right? Because he said that call all
Yeah.
these other lawyers
Lawyers.
so that he can't go to them. But even before that, it's like she was collecting any and every evidence, to harm Celeste.
Yeah.
And that made you feel like that she's actually not feeling sorry for Celeste.
Not
She's
at all. Yeah.
Yeah, because every time she talks about what Perry said about Celeste, there's some amount of jealousy, there's some amount of you took my son away from me
Yeah.
kind of a vibe that you get. And it is so disturbing the way she
Yeah.
um talks about that. But
I
yeah,
read an
moving on.
article. I
Yeah.
read an article which stated that she binge watched. I can't remember the name, but some Ekta Kapoor serial to get the mother-in-law vibe right.
That woman has done Devil Wears Prada. I
हर बार
don't think
कैसे
she needs
यकीन कर
that
लेते
kind
हैं?
of
I was
training.
listening seriously कि दिलजीत भाई has come with research. Wow. And then yes.
But
They, but
yeah, I mean, moving on to since we did. Sorry, Diljit, you were saying something.
हाँ तो
नहीं नहीं कुछ
वही
नहीं
कि
बोले.
in Perry, so Perry for his kids was the perfect father, no? Like
Yeah.
always playing with them. So similarly, I think she was able to extract that information because she was the best granny, best grandmother. Matlab, they really enjoyed spending time with her kids, and later on maybe Ziggy as well. So
Mm.
she made them so comfortable. Uh, like other women, we can see sort of avoiding her or not trying to face her really, but with kids actually wanted to spend time with her and would be happy like they were with Perry when he would come around. So I think she played that dual role quite well and shuffled between both the roles, because her tone even with the women when she was sort of taunting them was very motherly. As you said, she could have played it in a different way, but she played it every time that I am concerned for you. I'm everything that I'm saying, even the mean things that I'm saying, it's for your own good, so that you can maybe
Mm.
listen to it and reflect and mend your ways if you're doing something wrong. So yeah.
I felt that because in a way Perry had maintained some amount of distance from her. And this is something that Celeste also talks about, right? That um, because Perry has told her this, that
Mm,
he there were reasons why he wasn't meeting his mother and things like that. And maybe because there was such a long gap, it made her feel like okay, she's wanted now by the family, especially by the kids.
yeah.
But as much as she's liking the fact that she's spending time with them, it constantly feels like she's trying to spend more time with them only to get more information about Celeste.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Okay.
that part is very creepy to me. That so when you say that she's the best grandmother, it feels like that she can be a good person if she
Mm,
tries,
Hmm.
but she just can't help herself.
yeah.
अच्छा एक क्वेश्चन है मेरा कि हम अभी कैसे कर रहे हैं? Are we doing it character by character? The entire story arc?
No, so when we started off, we were just talking about where characters are in the beginning of the
Right.
season, and then we'll go into what happens.
Okay.
तो मैरी लुइस के बारे में किसी को और कुछ बोलना है, और shall we move on to maybe Renata or Bonnie or someone?
Yeah, मतलब Mary Lou is at the starting, right? That's what we're talking about right now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mary Louise, once
Mary
we
Louise
had
for me was my
yeah.
favorite character of this show, of this season. Not because, but she was not just a she was an inherently bad person, but she
Yeah.
tried to do from her point of view. She's trying to do good, right?
Yeah.
And that's the best sort of villain you can write.
Yeah.
The ones who think they are doing good for, and she obviously cares about the kids. But
Hmm.
yeah, it's the way she plays her, that subtle,
And
oh,
I would like to add,
evilness.
not only kids,
Although she, yeah,
whenever she says ना कि Celeste के बारे में भी, whenever she says ना कि I care about you, I want you to get better,
Yeah.
I don't think she's necessarily lying there as well, right? She knows कि she had some part in her husband's death, and maybe she's being passive aggressive, but she had some good feelings, because there are some scenes that you see when the kids are with Celeste, not when she's slapping them or anything, but बच्चे उसके साथ जब अच्छे से खेल वेल रहे होते हैं, you can see they cut to Mary Louise, and Mary Louise has a very heartwarming kind of expression on her face. So I don't think even her feelings for Celeste were exactly like 100% negative. So that's what I think made it even better, her character.
I don't know. I
Yeah,
never
even I'm
felt
not
like
sure
it was
about that.
heartwarming. To
No.
me, it felt like, she was thinking about what she lost.
Yeah,
Yeah,
also
she's
likewise.
just
Also, when
a
she
But
very
was
she
good actor.
sees she sees Perry in the kids, right? In all three kids.
Both
Mhm.
her sons,
So
actually.
it's
That
like,
she lost,
Yeah.
yeah, both her
yeah,
sons.
yeah.
not Perry दिख रहा था, and I always felt that she wanted control over the
Yeah.
kids more than
Yeah.
anything else.
Yeah.
कि I lost Perry. I want to have control over these two kids. Either
Hmm.
this lady lets me have it. मैं इसी घर के आसपास रहूंगी, यहीं रहूंगी. I'm interfering, and I also want to know what happened, right? Everything involved.
Yeah.
So she thought she wanted to do the best for the kids, but she also knew that she wanted to have control over the lives, and I think control was more was the primary emotion. Love was there, that was probably secondary, मुझे ऐसा लगा.
No, for her, love is control,
Uncontrollable.
right? She doesn't. She wouldn't
Yeah.
say control.
हाँ, that was
Hmm.
what
She
she didn't
wouldn't.
say that. She calls it
Yeah,
love. हाँ.
for her, being involved in their lives completely and taking over everything is what love is for her.
And she also
So
tries
I
to
don't
do it
think
with
she would
Ziggy as
define
well.
it like that.
Ziggy के
Yeah,
पास
that's
भी
why I say
एक
all three kids, right?
all three kids, yeah.
Ziggy also she wants to bring into her. And
Also,
she's
she's
the ideal
lonely.
best
She
grandma
has
for them.
nobody.
She
Hmm.
has shit ton of money
Yeah,
and
yeah.
nobody.
See, one thing we need to remember is also that Perry kept his distance, which is why she was
Yeah.
not involved in their lives before,
Yeah.
Right.
as much as she would want to. Now that Perry is gone, तो उसको she found a way to get in also in their
Access मिल
lives.
गया उसको.
In the very beginning, they were in touch, I think, because she does talk about everything that Perry had told Celeste. Perry had told her about Celeste. So she does talk about how he described her to be, and all those things. So we know that at some point they were in touch, and then
Yeah.
he didn't want to keep in touch.
अच्छा मुझे
Then
ये
they
So
drifted apart.
uh,
yeah.
in the court when Nicole Kidman Celeste makes an argument कि Perry and his mother didn't necessarily have a good relationship. Yeah, the mother blamed Perry for his brother's death. So this all part is in season 2 only. Na? I don't think season 1
Yeah,
में
yeah.
mother is even discussed, right? It's
Yeah.
all.
No, no,
No,
no,
it's
not at
not.
all.
It's not.
Yeah, I was just when I was watching it, I मतलब उन्होंने तो दिखाया ही flashbacks and all में, but I was just trying to remember if season 1 में had there any hints कि ऐसा होगा. But
नहीं
probably
नहीं.
I don't think they were planning to make the second season anyway when
Yeah,
the
yeah.
first.
Hmm. They were not.
मेरे को
So
बहुत
I.
बोलो.
Hmm. बोलो बोलो.
मैं बस बोलती मेरे
And
को एक चीज बहुत टाइम तक लगी कि सेकंड सीजन जबरदस्ती बनाना स्टार्ट किया इन्होंने. मैंने पहले ये पूरा सीजन प्रोटेस्ट में देखा है. तो स्टार्टिंग के 3 एपिसोड तो मैं झगड़ा कर रही थी सारे कैरेक्टर्स के साथ. क्यों? क्या जरूरत थी ये करने की? क्या जा फालतू में स्टोरी आगे बढ़ाने के लिए बच्चों को बोलो कि सारी बातें फैला दे. सबसे अच्छा व्हाट अ कन्वीनियंट प्लॉट पॉइंट कि क्लोई ने जाके सबको सब बता दिया. खत्म.
हाँ.
तो मैं तो ऐसे इरिटेटेड थी, गुस्से में थी. एनीवे नॉट फॉर द शो, ऐसे ही इन जनरल मूड था. तो मैंने तो इरिटेशन में देखा, तो मेरा पर्सपेक्टिव ही पूरा स्क्यूड था. तो मतलब बाद के एपिसोड्स मैंने एंजॉय किए हैं लेटर हाफ. बट
Hmm.
पहले में तो मुझे बिल्कुल इरिटेशन हो रही थी, क्यों फालतू में कर रहे हैं. जब बनाना नहीं था तो ढंग से बना देते. दैट काइंड ऑफ मूड. मुझे फॉर स्ट्रेच लगा कि मतलब अगेन टू द पॉइंट व्हाट चिन्मय सिंह की, ये सारे कैरेक्टर्स जब इतना इन्वॉल्व हैं सेकंड सीजन में, लाइक पूरा दुनिया
Hmm.
इनके अराउंड स्पिन कर रही है, इनको थर्ड पर्सन रेफरेंस तक नहीं दिया पूरे एक सीजन में तुमने। कितना आफ्टर थॉट है इसका कैरेक्टर, ग्रैंडमदर का कैरेक्टर इंट्रोड्यूस करना। तो ये मेरे को भी आया था ये चीज
Yeah,
इरिटेशन
matlab,
में।
they did a good job, but of course,
हाँ
I think it went like ki, we have 4 powerhouse actresses. How can we make it better and bigger? So they're like Meryl Streep को लेते
एंड
हैं.
किसी ने
What
बुक
will
पढ़ी
she
है
be?
ना, दैट
She'll
इज
be
आई
Perry's
एम
mother.
इंटरेस्टेड टू नो
That's how
बुक
they
में
do.
ये पूरी
But
स्टोरी कहाँ तक है, मतलब सीजन
book
1
में
So
2 इज
I, yeah, so that even I wanted to read it for that reason. I started reading it. I haven't even reached the halfway mark, but there are
बुक
things
में
which are
सीजन 1 पूरा खत्म होता है यार, 11:30
नहीं,
that is
Yeah.
what I have heard, but I haven't read it. So I was reading it. Few things are different. Like in the beginning itself, when I'm reading, there are a few things that are different, but more or less they've tried to stick to the book. Matlab, at least for the most the central plot line, they've tried to stick to the book. But yeah, the second one was definitely made because the first one
Just for TV.
worked. Yeah, for I mean, that's for sure. I have read in a few places that few details which were not maybe shown in season 1 were later shown in season 2. But I am not aware of what those details are, so I can't really talk about it. But in terms of should this have been made, shouldn't it have been made, I think that's something that we can discuss by the end, because I also felt that the first time I watched season 2, I felt that this was not necessary, especially I felt that about a few characters के tracks, which I will talk about later.
you
But
Nandini always felt this even after end of season 1, right? That you don't know season, that the story does not need a season 2, right?
yes,
Yeah.
at that time, I didn't. I mean, they didn't even. I mean, season 2 didn't exist the first time
Oh
I
yeah.
watched it. Season 2 didn't exist, so I never thought they would make it because it was called an HBO limited series. So I didn't really expect a season 2. But I mean, now they're making a third season, so who am
Oh,
I
are
to?
they?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
Oh,
बट द एंड ऑफ
अब क्या
सीजन 2
करेंगे?
वारंटेड, राइट? वो तो ओपन रखा था उन्होंने कि द वे इट एंडेड, सब पुलिस
Yeah.
स्टेशन में जाते, तो उसके बाद
ओपन
क्या
तो
होगा?
सीजन हाँ ओपन तो सीजन 1 के बाद भी था इन अ वे, राइट? बट
हाँ, मतलब
still it
they some
wasn't.
murder is committed and no one is caught, so it was
Also,
sort of
the
open end.
investigators looking on from far, and the mothers
Hmm.
are at the beach. So, I mean, it's not like they didn't have anywhere to start season 2, but of course, I guess they probably thought that it all depends on how well the show does, and then they'll, figure it out. I don't think it's easy, even in Hollywood,
Easy.
to greenlight a show which has mostly women as protagonists, right?
Hmm.
So that's,
Hmm.
I mean, that's so. I mean, when you think about it in that way, you feel like it's okay, banane do. But
exactly.
story-wise, you may not feel the same way. But anyway, since we were talking about characters, we should definitely discuss Bonnie, because
Oh, yes.
by the end of season 1, you see how um, cornered she feels in a way by herself, trying to keep it all together. And season 1 opens with her distancing herself from Nathan a lot,
Yeah.
right? Much more than we see in by the end of season 1. And there's a sort of
सीजन
like
1 में there is a
she's
distance, मुझे तो याद भी नहीं है।
towards the end there is, because there is a bit of hesitance. I mean, there are a few things that they don't really feel the same about, especially about Abigail, the way Nathan reacts, the way Bonnie feels, that bit. But yeah, beginning of season 1, Nathan, as usual, is clueless. I mean, that man, I don't know how. That man is so clueless about everything. And you see Bonnie just walking aimlessly, and she just, it's like you think you can clear your head when you go out for a walk, but for Bonnie, it's like no matter how much she walks, her head's not going to clear up. It's just, and you do feel for her, because you know that um, she seems to be the sort of person who wants to do the right thing, but she just can't, because so many other people are depending on her to keep the secret.
Yeah.
And it's like saying that if it's for a good reason, then you should lie. And it's just that now the lie seems much bigger than before, and it feels like it's gonna get you. And she almost talks about it like a person, right? The lie.
Yeah.
She's always talking about it in that manner, and it's in many ways it feels like whenever she looks at Mary Louise, it feels like, okay, she's gonna get me.
Yeah.
But
And the biggest reason why I felt that Nathan was a loser was that to make things better, he calls upon the one person that Bonnie would not want around her, who is her
The
mother.
mother.
मतलब इतने साल में भी Bonnie का
yeah,
इक्वेशन विथ हर मदर वो वाला वो समझा ही नहीं. तो मुझे इतना गुस्सा आ रहा था because Bonnie is always trying to smooth things for Nathan when it comes to his
yeah.
ex-wife, the daughter. और इस इंसान को ये तक नहीं पता है कि how
Hmm.
volatile the relationship is.
Exactly. And before that, he asks Ed to talk to
Yeah.
her.
Yeah.
Oh, you get along. I mean, it is so bizarre. You are asking your ex-wife's
Ex-wife's
current
current
husband
husband.
to talk to your current wife. कि बताओ मुझे क्या प्रॉब्लम
You,
है.
you are asking a person जिसके रिश्ते का कोई नाम भी नहीं है, उसको 6 syllables में उसका रिश्ता, उसके एक्स वाइफ के हस्बैंड.
I mean, how incapable are you that you know
Which is
you
why
are
I
not.
don't understand. Madeline चलो फिर भी समझा कि वो बहुत young थी and all. यार Bonnie.
Yeah,
Bonnie
I
is
ये
an
know.
डिस्कस
incredible
करेंगे,
woman.
ये डिस्कस करेंगे कि व्हाई
Hmm.
हाउ ही
हाँ तो अभी
मैनेज टू.
करते हैं ना, चलो.
नहीं
Yeah.
नहीं, हम कैरेक्टर वाइज चल रहे हैं ना.
हाँ तो
हाँ.
बॉनी
आई
की बात
थिंक.
हो.
No, but I'm also sort of going a little episode wise for this season, because I think that'll help us. But
हाँ.
but since we are on Bonnie's subject, it's so amazing how they've shown all the kids as receptive children, right? Because like Ziggy sees a change in Jane, and in this case, in Bonnie's case, Sky sees a change in Bonnie, and
Kids are smart.
he's,
Yeah.
yeah, and
Kids
Nathan
are
doesn't.
very,
Yeah.
but
Yeah,
kids, I
and
mean, Nikhil बोलेंगे, but kids are very perceptive to what's happening, na?
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
course they are, but in Bonnie's case, I'm specifically talking about it because Nathan is so clueless about it,
Yeah.
and Sky को Bonnie drop कर रही है school में, and उसको बस देख के Sky is like, is everything okay with you and Dad?
Yeah.
Are you okay? It's like she is able to see so much that Nathan को पता ही नहीं है. And it's not
Yeah.
like Nathan and Bonnie don't spend time
But
together.
Nathan को पता नहीं है कि Nathan को पता है there's something wrong, right? It's not
I
that.
think Nathan is a person who does not like to really take the responsibility of fixing anything. So
Yeah.
his way of fixing things is I'll pass on this to somebody who can handle it. He's
No, no, I mean, as big as a douchebag as he is, he does ask Bonnie. He tries to do it what he
It's
thinks
not,
he can do.
no, I know, but what I mean
हाँ.
by कि नेथन को पता ही नहीं है is that he doesn't know how to talk to her about it.
Correct.
Yeah. Yep.
Right? The sensitivity with which Sky asked Bonnie, you know, where it took Bonnie a second to be like, oh my god, it's that obvious to her, you know, and she tries to lie. Whereas with Nathan, she doesn't even bother to lie. Because मतलब वो तंग आ चुकी है. Obviously नेथन ने उसे बहुत बार पूछ लिया है, but उसके पूछने का तरीका या
Yeah.
you know समझने का भी, जैसे Sky doesn't know what all happened on trivia night, right? Nathan
Yeah.
was there. Nathan knows everything. So he needs to be a little more perceptive.
Yeah.
So उस angle से मैं बोल रही थी. But yeah, I mean, even with the whole thing with whatever you spoke about Chloe, right? That season 1 may, in a way, it was, I guess, established that Chloe
Chloe
is
is.
constantly looking on from
Yeah.
far, right? वो बस
Chloe is.
हाँ उसके मतलब she has that habit of eavesdropping and थोड़ा बहुत है उसका, तो वो हमको I guess maybe that felt like a convenient plot line also to them to blame it on Chloe to reveal the whole secret about Ziggy and Perry. But I mean, we can talk about that if you guys
It's
want.
okay. ऐसा कुछ नहीं है. It's fine.
Chloe didn't know about the cheating part, no? Or did she?
No, that's Abigail. Abigail ने वो बात
Abigail
Abby
knew.
को तो Abby तो हाँ, she discussed very
Abby finds out
maturely.
before Nathan actually in the
Yeah.
first season.
Yeah.
But Chloe knows
But
something is wrong, but she doesn't know what. मतलब she
हाँ.
probably स्कूल में उसने देखा होगा कि डिवोर्स वाले बच्चे वगैरह होंगे. So and she knows that her mother had a previous husband, right? So she knows that maybe कुछ ना कुछ हुआ रहेगा, but that's all that she knows.
yeah, she doesn't know anything else. But meanwhile, because the whole thing about Abigail also was a problem, right? Where
Yeah, that was another
every
loose plot point. मतलब उन लोगों ने एबिगेल और कॉलेज को इतना ड्रामा बताया, बाद में उसको एकदम जस्ट until the
पकड़ा नहीं.
focus could be on Madeline. उसके
Yeah,
बाद भूल गए. एबिगेल कॉलेज जा रही है नहीं जा रही वो
Abby
भूल ही
was
गए.
afterthought.
they do.
हाँ.
They do like have one conversation about it where
Yeah.
Madeline yells at her and all that. But yeah, I mean,
उसके बाद पूरा
yeah,
एपिसोड
it
वो
does.
this is because I was angry I could see all these things.
Yeah. No. Rightly said, because although it feels like a conversation that is carrying on from season 1, because उसमें भी college की बात होती है, but it really goes nowhere, and
मतलब
it
उसका
sort
एक
of
ही था वो
ends
प्लॉट
at
डिवाइस टू गेट मैडेलिन ऑन द स्टेज एंड गिव हर स्पीच. और मैडेलिन की इनसिक्योरिटीज बाहर है ना अबाउट कॉलेज.
Yeah.
and as much as I um, understand where Madeline was coming from when she told
Pushed
Abigail
her.
about the affair and
Yeah.
all of that, it still bothered me the way that was done. But I thought it's okay, you know, it's Madeline. She's not predictable. She can do these things sometimes. But when Abigail brings that up again, right, and Ed hears about it,
Yeah.
it really felt like it felt like a very I guess it can happen. It's something that can happen um,
But plot
organically.
point,
But
Maybe
I
convenience
don't
happen
plot
know
point.
why
will
it
because
felt,
that
Yeah.
is a
yeah,
very teenage behavior. मतलब
yeah,
that is
it
very
felt,
teenage.
yeah, it felt like a
Shoe in.
क्या बोलते हैं soap
हाँ.
opera
He's a good.
scene
Yeah.
कि
that scene
he
was
was
put in to create tension क्योंकि एड को
Yeah.
बताना है तो कैसे बताएं तो ऐसे
और
बताएं.
इसकी भी स्टोरी बतानी बढ़ानी थी ना आगे इनको मैडलिन और एड की
Abigail
story
for
थी।
both seasons was a prop, is what you're saying, Dilip, right?
but I feel the kind of finesse that season 1 had where exposition was more through
It was organic.
silent,
Everything was
yeah,
organic. Yeah.
silent flashes of
The cuts,
flashbacks
yeah,
and dark
flashbacks.
thoughts and all those kinds of things. Here it was mostly through dialogues.
And one more thing, since we are on that, before I forget, I would to add, I
Yeah.
hated the subplot of Bonnie's mother having this
Yeah.
spiritual whatever fuck bullshit,
Clairvoyance, yeah.
whatever that she was having. कि तू पानी में मरेगी ये बोला ये हम why are we in magical realism in Big Little Lies?
Gypsy
ये
woman.
कहाँ से आ गया? That
No,
was
that whole thing, that whole so since it has come up, this is the track, Bonnie's track, right? That I did not enjoy at all.
yeah.
The whole thing about her realizing that she does not love Nathan is all good, okay? But the
Yeah.
angle of the mother in the hospital,
Yeah.
and I'm also okay with Bonnie constantly imagining confessing, and those. I totally, I'm fine with all of that because those are very, very natural reactions to a situation like this. And as much as I understand that a lot of people had a problem with the way season 1 ended, where they were like, why was it Bonnie who pushed Perry? Why wasn't it someone else? Why wasn't it Jane? Why wasn't it Celeste? Why wasn't it even Madeline? Um, just so that you can give an answer to that,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
did not need a very, very forced and underwritten track of Bonnie's mother.
Correct.
Even if she was someone who was an alcoholic and she was abusive, and Bonnie's father didn't, help her much or rescue her from all of it. Um, as much as you want to feel for her for all of that, it just did not feel um I don't even know if I
थोड़ा
should use
dragged
the
out.
word authentic, but I just didn't buy it. I don't know why. I just didn't buy
Yeah.
it.
I agree with you, Nandini, because I felt that the justification for Bonnie pushing what was his Perry in the first season could simply be because she was trying to protect the woman. I mean, giving her a trauma backstory felt very convenient to add as a plot point to make the second season go
नहीं, but
ahead.
Yeah.
Eval, I
but
think from what I've read, Bonnie ka backstory is a thing in the book. So maybe that's why they went with it. Matlab, I agree the way they went about it was not probably the best, but I think it's in the book.
So I have no problem if so you know
But
how
it was not done right. I mean, I don't know how it is in the book, but the way it
I
was
also
shot,
don't know.
I have a question about this since you're talking about Bonnie. So,
yeah.
and okay, forget that. My question is that Nathan, नहीं मैं अपने आप को कुछ implicate नहीं करना चाह रही. तो मैं बिल्कुल नहीं बताना चाह रही कि मैंने कुछ सेक्शंस ड्रैग किए हैं आगे, तो फास्ट फॉरवर्ड मारे हैं मतलब. तो crap, the question is कि Nathan, when does she fall out of love? When does she accept that she's never been in love with Nathan? Last episode को छोड़कर, उससे पहले पूरे आर्ट में है कुछ ऐसा
Season 1,
about
episode
Nathan?
0.
मुझे क्योंकि पूरे उसमें लगा कि Bonnie is
नहीं,
focused
that came out of the blue. नहीं, explicitly out of the blue, but
है ना?
ऐसा
थोड़ा मुझे
लग रहा था थोड़ा.
she was
But
getting
it wasn't
frustrated.
stated कि she is out of love with him.
So in
तो वो भी
season
बहुत
1,
conveniently बताया था ना second season में why she was never in love with him.
वो explanation again
मम्मी के
not very
कारण.
organic. नहीं.
I have an explanation for why Nathan is like that.
What?
Writing type explanation, because I think Nathan and Adam Scott का character का नाम क्या है?
Ed.
Ed.
हाँ, both are written by male nerds who who always think the jock always gets the girl, like their life is
Yeah.
always perfect, and I very much relate to Ed that way. Or
Written
Yeah.
by Moriarty.
like
The
they want
coder
to,
guy.
yeah,
The coder guy being a
yeah,
good
yeah.
person in this story. Yeah.
I very much relate to Ed because he's a web developer.
But this character was not
So
written by
uska,
him, right? This character was written by.
yeah, I'm just saying कि for the show it feels like
नहीं समझा.
Nathan is a perfect foil for Ed, because he
Hmm.
is that you're meant to hate him, and you're also meant to supposed to question that ये चूतिया को कैसे मिल गई ये.
दो
हाँ.
लड़कियां, मतलब मुझे तो वही नहीं समझ में आ रहा है. Madeline and Bonnie.
It's very
How?
clear.
अरे
Yeah,
एकलव्य is also here. एकलव्य कुछ बोलना चाहोगे? आवाज नहीं सुनी है एकलव्य को.
एक
पर
लड़की.
दोनों लड़कियां उसको टांग मार के
देवल
चली गई. तो
आपने सुना है ना कि जब ऊपर वाला देता छप्पर फाड़ के, तो 2 बार छप्पर
My
फटा.
problem na Diljit bhai is with the fact he got both women. He got children out of both women. So वो lifelong उनसे जुड़ा रहेगा for some reason.
Even now that both of them have kicked him out of
Yes.
their lives.
Yes.
I
It
love
will not
this
मिलना
be
part
पड़ेगा.
of the rant. Absolutely love this
but
part of the
also
rant. But
but
do
also
you guys think about
एकलव्य
since
कुछ
we
बोलने की
were
कोशिश कर रहा है.
हाँ हाँ
बोलो.
बोलो
नहीं
बोलो.
मैं वही
रोको
बोल रहा हूँ
उसे.
कि the reason why both the ladies fell for him is because both those two ladies were also trouble, very in their own sense and way, right? She also the क्या वो उसका character का नाम भूल
Madeline.
गया. She when she found a safe and a good space with Ed, she cheated on him. The other lady was just trying to like I
Find a
forget उसका नाम.
complacent husband, I think.
हाँ एंड जो दूसरी जो
Bonnie.
जिसने धक्का मारा बॉनी. हाँ बॉनी ने भी बॉनी ऑल्सो हैड ऑफ कोर्स इट इज शोन ऑफ दैट शी हैड अ लॉट ऑफ ट्रबल पास्ट एंड एवरीथिंग, बट बॉनी वाज आल्सो इन दैट रिलेशनशिप फॉर हर ओन gain. She was also just trying to get through it. That is what is said. She was also never in love with him. She was there for whatever reason, just trying to survive in that relationship. So uh, maybe that like it is like the guy तो था ही एकदम ये, but even he was stuck in
He
this.
was in
hey,
mean to end.
he's the token white guy, right? That you would
Yeah.
paint as a villain in any teenage drama. So Bonnie went to exactly opposite to what her mother is. Instead of a black lady,
Yeah.
she went a white guy.
Yeah.
Very
yeah.
loose theory.
And
No, but
The only logical explanation that came to me was that Bonnie is a lot younger than Nathan. So when they got together, she was young and probably stupid compared to the wise woman that she is. And even Madeline and Nathan got together when she was very young. So मुझे तो high school sweethearts थे ना Nathan and Madeline.
They were.
yes,
Yeah.
yes. So the Madeline Nathan thing is fine because they were young and whatever. The Bonnie Nathan thing, the way I saw it is that Nathan just found somebody and he walked out, and I suppose Bonnie thought that being with somebody who because in at least in season 2 she talks about how she dated a lot of people who did not treat her well, and then eventually she married Nathan, who by then wanted to sort of change his whole personality in a way, right? Because
Yeah.
he's trying so hard to be like Bonnie and doing everything that he had never done in his first marriage.
Yeah.
So he's trying very hard to impress. It's that midlife crisis situation in his case, I feel. And in Bonnie's case, I guess she thought that oh, he seems like a safe guy, safer than the guys I've dated. and at least he's not going to treat me badly. Because as much we know one thing about Nathan, that he's not Perry, right?
हाँ
Right.
He's definitely not a Perry. He may not be the best husband, but he's not Perry. So you know, I'm thinking
can I ask,
about it
why do
from
you feel Nathan is not a good husband? Like in the second marriage, first marriage, I understand he cheated and he walked out, and
he
and there
he's
is no this
oblivious
for it.
it's
to
not about him
Bonnie's
not
issues.
being
Yeah.
it's not about him not being a good husband. It's not about it, it's mainly about him not being an honest person. He's doing everything that he doesn't necessarily like for Bonnie. He's not being himself. Like, even when you see his scenes with Ed, where he's like, you think I'm not trying to get along with my wife? I did this, I tried that, I tried whatever, yoga and hiking, and I mean,
Performative behavior
हाँ,
there. Yeah.
वो बैठ के गिना रहा है, जता रहा है कि मैंने ये किया है, मैंने वो किया है. And I guess since we can also see that Sky and Chloe are in the same class, and we also know that Bonnie has had a childhood where the mother was abusive.
Abusive self.
That is also going to be something that will influence Bonnie's decision to stay in a marriage like that, because they have a kid. And you know, being in a broken marriage is not going to help the kid. So I suppose it's a
Compromise.
it's a yeah, I guess a compromise, but a mixture of like many reasons why she stays with Nathan. And in some ways, in season one, every time Nathan says something bad about Madeline, Bonnie is the one who's telling him not to, right?
Hmm.
Like, understand her and all of those things. And it's not like she loves Madeline, um, but she's trying so hard to be a good person, because she's she's seen that violence has ruined her family and she doesn't want that to repeat. But
Yeah.
here she is, carrying the guilt of such a big secret. But in the course of that, maybe understanding her true reason for being with Nathan. I don't know.
No,
That
so
whole
by
thing is a
Eklavya,
little.
other
Eklavya,
question there is Madeline a good wife?
oh, not at all.
According to you?
I mean,
एकलव्य एकलव्य एक चीज
I
और
don't think
आई थिंक वो थोड़ा
I don't
डिस्कस
think
हुआ
there's a doubt there, but yeah.
जो
Sorry.
नेथन के बारे में सो यस ही ट्राइज मतलब ऑन पेपर एटलीस्ट ही ट्राइज एंड वी कैन सी कि ही इज डूइंग थिंग्स दैट बॉनी लाइक्स बट दैट्स जस्ट सरफेस लेवल डीपली जो बॉनी को चीजें ट्रबल करती हैं लाइक ही इज वेरी ऑब्लिवियस टू दोस थिंग्स एंड ही डजंट रियली नो स्टफ अबाउट बॉनी दैट मैटर्स वो योगा
Yeah.
उसको पसंद है तो उसको वो या ये क्लास करनी है साइकिलिंग करनी है ये एटसेट्रा एटसेट्रा ये मतलब फालतू की चीजें ही does end up doing but
Ah,
things that matter he doesn't really even reach her at that level तो I
yeah.
think उस तरीके से वो कनेक्ट ही नहीं कभी कर पाता बॉनी के साथ because all of his
उसको
acts are just performances
Yeah, and he knows about Bonnie's past. फिर भी वो उसकी mom को बुलाता है
हाँ.
when he feels that he can't have a conversation with Bonnie, instead of going maybe for counseling or any other route,
Or being
he
patient.
straight away calls. Sorry.
Or being just patient.
Yeah, whatever. He straight away calls that one person who he knows she doesn't like, which is very bad. And talking about
एकलव्य
Madeline
हाँ
Eklavya, she's not a good wife for sure. She's a good friend to Celeste,
Yeah.
but
And to Jane.
and Jane as well.
Yeah.
She's not a good wife for sure, because and whatever her reasoning may be for that, for her first failed marriage, for feeling insecure, all of those things, uh, they don't justify the cheating for sure.
Yeah.
yeah
She's a bad
I
wife.
want to take a step back, Eklavya. In my opinion, अगर उसने cheat नहीं किया होता, it was still be that she's a very she is
Okay-ish
very
wife.
indifferent to, no, she's not a
Absent
good
wife.
absent, that's why
Absent wife.
she's very indifferent to Ed. Okay,
Yeah.
and Ed is right when he says that I feel I'm not appreciated, because that's true. She did ignored Ed. Ed है कर रहा है, पूरा फोकस उसका सीजन 1 में बॉनी और इसके ऊपर था, नेथन और
Yeah.
बॉनी के ऊपर.
Yeah.
शी इज जस्ट ऑब्सेस्ड विद दोस पीपल. यहाँ घर पे चल रहा है, एड संभाल रहा है जो भी चल रहा है मेरे घर में. Her own life she didn't care.
No.
She was obsessive about everybody else other than her own
Her
life.
own family, yes.
So then, so
मैडलिन का
the
चीटिंग वाला प्लॉट पॉइंट ना मुझे ऐसे लग रहा था कि it doesn't impact the overall story. It was just a subplot that was there.
हाँ, एकलव्य कुछ बोल रहे थे तुम?
नहीं मैं पूछ रहा था, so does that mean that Madeline, like the growth that Nathan showed in his second marriage was more than what Madeline showed?
I have no idea how Madeline was
एकलव्य
in.
ग्राफ बना रहा है नितिन और
क्योंकि मैं ये
कितने पैसे
पूछना
दिए
चाहता हूँ,
नेथन ने?
because what I'm trying to understand is कि both were in a bad first marriage,
हाँ,
and both of them had wounds from the marriage that they bled on to in the second, in both
Yeah.
ways. Nathan did all those things with Chloe because he was like कि मैं पहले मैं ट्राई किया, मेरे को पता ही नहीं क्या करने का. He was whatever young and idiotic in whatever ways, and he thought that the surface level things to do is the way to do it and try and whatever. And on the other end, Madeline had her ways of approaching it. She went and looked for somebody who's stable, who's a nice guy, does not want to get into
safe
it.
option. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I mean, I completely agree with this that Nathan was not a greatest husband of sorts. But I mean, in comparison to Madeline, in my opinion, by the end of it, standing where they were, Nathan had more effort in whatever Chloe was in his life at least. He like with Chloe, I don't think. हाँ, of course, मेरे को ये जरूर लगता है कि वो he did not have
Chloe
that
or
kind of
Bonnie?
connection with her.
Bonnie, I think
Sorry,
he means Bonnie.
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 Yeah, so
Yeah.
sorry.
Okay.
With the connection with her कि she was comfortable enough to tell him about the this, even though he asked 3-4 times, और वो फिर वो उसने फिर माँ को बुलाया. मैं गधा तो है वो, आई एम नॉट सेइंग गधा नहीं है, but गधा है is my this. I don't think he, like, I
So,
think he had a progression of being a better person at least over the whole first to second this.
correct me if
Yeah,
I'm
I don't
wrong.
think he's smart enough to be manipulative. मतलब he's
No,
Yeah.
वो पहले marriage, like I think the first marriage was so bad for both of them कि both of them have affected the second marriages in
No,
both
no, but
ways.
correct me if I'm wrong. Doesn't Nathan leave Madeline for Bonnie? Like,
No,
doesn't he
no,
have
no,
an
no,
affair
no.
with Bonnie?
नहीं नहीं.
No, no, no,
He was
no.
cheating with somebody else.
He was cheating with, because Bonnie is very younger in comparison to both Nathan and Madeline. He was cheating on Madeline, and then he walked out, but he continued.
With an unknown character.
Yeah.
Okay.
Who was Renata, by the way? I've read that somewhere.
What?
What
क्या
Renata?
सुन
Who's
रहे हो
Renata?
यार तुम? क्या
Renata is that
seriously ले रहे हो?
business lady. सबसे ज्यादा वाट लगा है लाइफ में तो उसका लगा है.
I
वो
know.
बेचारे
क्या
को
चूतिया
क्या है
पति है
यार.
उसका.
She
Oh
had the
God.
worst husband. वो पेरी के
Yeah.
बाद सबसे बेकार आदमी वो था, वो सेकंड.
Second
वो
to Perry, of
बेकार
course,
सीजन
because he
1 में
set
था
the bar
और
so high.
सीजन 2 में उसके असली रंग सामने आ गए.
But since we are at Renata's thing, maybe we should discuss that, because in the previous season we saw how um, successful Renata is, and how उसकी जो भी सक्सेस है it is all because of her. And she feels guilty that she's not able to give her daughter as much time as other mothers who are
Home
not as busy as her can.
homemakers.
Yeah, homemakers, or even someone like Jane, who doesn't have as busy a
Busy
life.
job.
Yeah, that Renata has. And उस चीज के लिए उसे थोड़ी इनसिक्योरिटी भी हो रही है. And then this season starts with saying that she's going to be featured on this magazine because she's, you know, one of the whatever top whatever women. And how because of what her husband does, you know, that's taken away from her. And that whole thing comes out of nowhere. That scene I think was done well also, where they're just, I think, outside a mall or some place like that, and they just
yes, yes.
come
वो
in
पुलिस
and
आता है. Yeah.
I thought that scene was done well. And
After, हाँ, बोलो, sorry.
no, no, when she goes to the prison to meet him, oh
हाँ,
my God, the way it dawns on her कि ये गोल खिलाया तूने मेरे पीठ पीछे, it's so bad.
वो पेरी को धक्का मारने के बाद सेकंड मोस्ट सैटिस्फाइंग सीन वाज वो बैट उठा के जो तोड़ती है सब.
ट्रेन
लग रहा था
स्टेशन एंड
दिमाग
ऑल.
को कि वो ट्रेन
ये
चीज
ये
रखा है
जो
उसने.
ट्रेन स्टेशन के पीछे पड़ा रहता है आफ्टर ऑल दिस शिट. Oh my.
I mean, the audacity of that
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
She had to
And he,
sell so many things, and वो अपना रेलगाड़ी लेके बैठा है idiot.
I'm so glad she destroys it.
and
Yeah,
even in
that
that
part.
scene he's condescending to Renata, right? कि अरे यार तू तू मतलब it's not that bad. कुछ तो वो बोलता है that he's like, you know, fuck this guy.
गाड़ी से उतर, मेरे गाड़ी से उतर तू. वो उसे लेने क्यों आ जाती है वापस, वही छोड़ के जाती है हाईवे पे.
And the way she so strongly feels, she's like, I
And
will not be rich.
and
हाँ.
I'm
Yeah.
Laura Dern का expressions when she finds out that Gordon was cheating on the babysitter.
Yeah.
Comes to
God, the
claim the
nanny.
Ridiculous.
Oh my
आइसिंग
God.
आइसिंग ऑन द
recreational
टॉप.
damages. Oh my God. The chehra that Laura Dern has pulled there. Oh my. It was
Paying
funny
her
and
for
sad
it.
at the same time.
That man who's doing the क्या है वो auditing या जो भी वो कर रहे हैं.
हाँ.
Oh my God, he's like, can you specify your services? And you're like, oh my God, this bloody asshole.
And फिर वो गाड़ी में जो
पहले ही
फ्लिप आउट करती है.
हाँ पहले ही इतने पैसे उसने डिबो दिए हैं, and then he hasn't even been you know
Faithful husband.
loyal.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Uh,
what a horrible
I've,
man.
I mean, I've seen Laura Dern's face when she looks at dinosaur, and she was more surprised at this.
She was more surprised at this, definitely. क्या लुक देती है मस्त वो.
Look, इसका
लास्ट सीजन पता नहीं शायद
Imagine
हमने डिस्कस
even
भी किया था.
after all that, even after all that, she really didn't have to stay with him. And there's so much going on also with, you know,
The
the whole
case.
secret about, yeah, Perry and all of that. And she is so worried about her daughter. And then that you know her daughter will have to live a life without all
Of
of this,
not a
and she'll have to,
princess.
yeah. And it's so sad that उसकी ही बेटी की तबीयत खराब हो जाती है because of all this.
Because of all of this. And I like the dynamic shift in this way कि I was thinking when watching कि imagine if season 1 में Renata prank corrupt हो जाती, the happiest person would have been Madeline.
Madeline. Yeah.
Yeah.
वो जो खुशियां मनाती गांव वालों को, जो वो मैसूर पाक बांट के खुश हो जाती. बट नाउ शी इज कंसोलिंग हर, शी इज विथ हर लाइक ठीक है, चीजें ठीक हो जाएंगी. एंड दे आर आल्सो डिस्कसिंग थिंग्स, राइट? कि
Yeah.
दे आर टुगेदर, दे आर आल्सो डिस्कसिंग लॉट ऑफ
किसी ने
थिंग्स
बुक
लाइक.
पढ़ा है? ये सीजन 2 सेकंड बुक है कि सेम बुक के अंदर खत्म हो
सीजन 2
जाएगा?
नहीं है, बुक में नहीं है सीजन 2.
Only
हाँ,
some
मतलब
parts, apparently. Oh.
this show could have been
वही ना,
finished
उसके
in
भरोसे
one
अगर रहते
season.
तो.
नहीं, she wrote a novella for second season, so she wrote the story, Moriarty.
अच्छा,
Author and everything.
But it's not going to be published.
अच्छा.
Yeah, but for the show, it's her
For the show,
story,
she
like
only wrote it.
ostensibly.
अच्छा.
Yeah.
I think she co-wrote it with David E. Kelly, na?
शायद
The show, but I've heard she wrote a novella for this,
अच्छा.
so she can flesh everything out. But वो publish नहीं हुआ है.
I mean, वो
पैसा
500
निकलता
लेडीज में
है.
से कोई भी एक स्टेप पीछे लेके सोचता है कि अरे अपन अब्यूज हो रहे थे, कोई मार रहा था आदमी, उसको धक्का मारा, सेल्फ डिफेंस में अपन ने धक्का मारा करके पुलिस को बता दे तो खत्म हो सकता था उधर ही।
वो फर्स्ट बुक का एंडिंग वही है, बुक का एंडिंग वही है। बॉनी
हाँ
कन्फेसेस सेल्फ डिफेंस एंड बुक
हाँ
उधर, आई थिंक दे
तो
वांटेड टू मेक अ सेकंड सीजन, इसलिए वो किया। आई
अच्छा,
डोंट बिलीव कि दे हैड नो प्लान्स टू मेक सेकंड सीजन इन
हम्म,
माइंड।
मुझे लगा था
but
कि
the
उन
one
लोग को अपनी मेमोरी
season 2,
कैसे लगी
the only
होगी
reason I'm
लास्ट
happy
में तो
season 2
निकलते
happened
टाइम
was
पे जो
get to watch Meryl Streep.
Yeah,
या
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
जितना
तो
मतलब ऐसे अच्छा है आपको
what I
लगता है
have
कि
If you
पीछे से
remember,
what
आपकी
I
आवाज
had heard was that they were not planning to make the second season because they were not sure how successful the first season would be.
yeah,
hmm,
makes sense.
That was the main reason.
hmm,
But the way it ends definitely does feel like there will be another season, right?
hmm,
And many people felt that बहुत ज़्यादा open ended हो गया, ये limited series कैसे हो सकता है and all that. So yeah, it's also possible that they wanted to do it, but they just didn't. Um, they were not sure because कितना successful हो, because उस time पे even if it had Nicole Kidman and Reese Witherspoon, I don't think they could have been absolutely sure कि ये show work करेगा.
Hmm.
बिकॉज ट्रेलर देख के भी बहुत लोगों ने तब आई रिमेम्बर बोला था कि अरे यार ये तो डेस्परेट हाउसवाइफ टाइप कुछ होगा, हु विल वॉच दिस, बिकॉज दे ओनली सॉ विमेन एट द
hmm,
सेंटर. एंड
hmm.
ट्रेलर देखोगे तो यू विल नेवर रियलाइज कि
This has
कोई
potential
गहरी
to be
बात
this
बोली
good.
जाएगी. हाँ, इसमें कोई
Yeah.
गहरी बात बोली जाएगी या नहीं, या सुपरफिशियल शो होगा या जो भी होगा, क्योंकि ट्रेलर में तो वो सब नहीं दिखेगा ना. बट जो भी रीजन है इनका सीजन 2 बनाने का, जो भी एक्सप्लेनेशंस देना चाह रहे हैं वो फॉर ऑल द कैरेक्टर्स के मोटिव्स एंड ऑल ऑफ दोस थिंग्स, आई जस्ट फेल्ट लाइक अगर थोड़े और एपिसोड सीजन 1 में डाल देते तो वहीं पे आप उसको खत्म कर सकते थे.
Yeah.
ऐसा मुझे
Half
लगा.
half of
Season 2
what
में I
season 2
think
was. Yeah.
नंदिनी जॉन
हम्म.
मैकवेल is not involved in season 2 ना. मुझे उनका नाम नहीं दिखा गया. Okay. The
किसका?
कौन कौन
the guy who directed the whole of season 1, John Markwell. I
yeah,
don't
he had
think he's
passed away,
involved in.
right? By then he had
I was
passed
just
away.
I was just checking the timeline. He passed away in 21 and season 2 was
Oh.
released in 2019. So I don't know why they
Okay,
didn't.
okay. Maybe he
मुझे
was
भी
just not
मुझे भी वही
involved then.
लगा था. मुझे अब तक यही
No,
लग
no,
रहा था
I knew
because
that he didn't.
yeah.
Yeah, I knew he didn't work on season 2 because
But I also think
everything looked
yeah,
completely
very
different
different.
from.
Yeah.
Yeah. And even with Bonnie, right? Those few flashes of thoughts you see of the flashback of her and her mother, even those would have been enough, I feel. वो पूरा हॉस्पिटल वाला ट्रैक और उस
अरे वो
सब का मुझे
Jump
जादू
बहुत
scares of
मंतर वाला ट्रैक तो
her.
मुझे पसंद ही नहीं आया. जो
Yeah.
जादू टोना कुछ भी किया ना उन्होंने, मतलब
बहुत ज्यादा खींच गया वो हॉस्पिटल का थिंग. एंड आफ्टर अ पॉइंट you have absolutely no sympathy for that whole track, right? You're like, हाँ ठीक है यार, एंड फिर वो उठ जाती है, फिर वो अगले एपिसोड में मर जाती है, एंड बाय देन you don't even care.
Yeah.
yeah.
You genuinely don't care.
ये अपना एक मुझे ये बात बताओ, एंड आई थिंक अ स्टूपिड क्वेश्चन टू आस्क, बट व्हेन सीजंस आर प्लान्ड या so they are released when everything has been shot and is all ready, like सारे episodes बन चुके हैं, they are released, ये weekly वाला यही होगा ना, टीवी पे होगा ये, this didn't come
But
on
all
OTT.
are edited and shot and ready. Then
ऐसे
weekly.
shows,
Okay.
ऐसे shows like limited series like these, 7-8
Okay,
एपिसोड
okay.
ऐसे टाइप्स. नहीं
क्योंकि
तो ब्रेकिंग बैड
अभी
वो
भी
सब
ऐसे ही
shows
होता है, अभी भी ऐसे होता है, या
होता
अभी
होता.
they are releasing and they are shooting at the same time? How
नहीं
how
नहीं
does
अभी
it work now?
like ये 10 एपिसोडर 8 एपिसोडर all of these mostly they are शूट तो हो ही जाता है, एडिटिंग में
Okay.
भी पोस्ट प्रोडक्शन थोड़ा बचे, लाइक पार्ट 2
हाँ
पार्ट 1 अभी करने लगे हैं वो सब,
Okay.
बट शूट तो हो ही जाता है। शोज जो पहले
Okay.
आते थे ना, जो 22-24 एपिसोड वैसे
ऑफिस
वाले,
वाले
जो
जो
फ्लैश,
सिटकॉम
ब्रेकिंग बैड,
स्टेज ऑडियंस
वो
के
हाँ
साथ
सारे
हाँ
शूट
वो
होते
नहीं
थे
थी।
ऐसे हफ्ते हफ्ते, जैसे अपने इंडिया के
हाँ
डेली सीरियल शूट होते वैसे।
हाँ
स्पेशली जो सिटकॉम्स वगैरह होते थे
बिग
वो
बैंग
तो
एंड
इट्स
ऑल।
लाइक कांस्टेंट,
हाँ
हाँ,
वो
वो
तो
हर
चलते
चलते
हफ्ते
रहते
रहते
हैं।
शूट होते रहते हैं।
और
उनका
वो
भी समर
सीजन
ब्रेक
एक
होता है।
उनका एक ऐसा होता है, वो एक सीजन का दे विल शूट इन अ फ्यू मंथ्स एंड देन दे विल स्टॉप फिल्मिंग एंड देन दे विल स्टार्ट अगेन उसका नेक्स्ट सीजन।
मेनी ऑफ दिस लॉन्ग वाले शोज टेक ब्रेक्स आल्सो, राइट? मतलब वो एरोवर्स वाले जो शोज होते हैं ना, एरो फ्लैश वगैरह,
हाँ हाँ
उनके 30
CW।
एपिसोड भी 12-12 में स्प्लिट होते थे। 12 आएंगे, फिर 5 महीने का गैप होगा, फिर 12 आएंगे, समथिंग लाइक दैट।
हाँ
हाँ
हाँ,
The Stranger
they do that. But if we can just go back to Celeste, so in first season we saw how Celeste goes to this therapist, right? And she's initially goes with Perry and then she goes alone. And in season 2, you do see her go again in the beginning, especially, right? Before she starts acting out, as in acting out in the sense that she has all those episodes of drinking a lot and all of that. What did you think of those therapy sessions? Because like for example, the first one that she has where she's trying to tell the therapist that it's okay for her to keep the good memories of Perry, and it's okay for her to also talk about Perry in a positive manner to her children.
yeah
And how the therapist is telling her that that is actually going to stop her from healing and moving on. And in order to make a point of it, she tells her to imagine Madeline in her place when she was beaten up.
yeah. Would you
What
let
did you
that
guys
happen?
think about this, that whole session that she has with the therapist?
I like the therapist. She's one of the best
वो
therapists
तो
on screen
उनको
therapists I've
खुद का
seen.
एक स्पिन ऑफ
So
शो दे दो, मतलब बेटर कॉल थेरेपिस्ट करके उनको दे दो, भी पहुंचे।
Uh, I'm asking more in the sense of mm,
I don't remember the scene actually, Nandini, what you're
Celeste's
talking.
नहीं,
No, I
Celeste's
remember this.
responses, even from season 1, Celeste has been uh, and I think with the lawyers that she hired also कि they are not good for me. She थोड़ा है कि she's judging the therapist, even though the therapist is trying her best to work for her and try to sort her life, but Celeste is थोड़ा averse to that support, and because उसके दिमाग के जो ideas हैं, especially when it comes to Perry, are very twisted. Season 1 में, whether it is the physical abuse, she almost always justifies it कि ठीक है, what he does is a reaction to sometimes my initiation या जो भी, and इसमें भी the therapist is very much trying to and given that example कि अगर Madeline तेरी जगह होती, would you have let the same things happen to Madeline, and फिर भी उसके भेजे में इतना नहीं आ रहा है कि I need to let this person go and move on, क्योंकि I don't know, her relationship with Perry is very, very twisted, and I think some part of it is because of the way Celeste's mind functions. And I think when we'll discuss the court case or the court hearings, we see a lot of complication in how she perceives things, how she sees her sexual life, how she reacts to things that we would otherwise think problematic, and so on. So I don't know. I think the therapist was doing her best, and she was just not ready to receive that support.
but if you think about it from Celeste's point of view, do you feel that so the whole part about her trying to remember the good things about Perry and the therapist telling her not to think about that because that's going to stop her from moving on and maybe
Moving on.
finding somebody else. which is understandable. But the whole thing about her not talking about her dad, I mean, about Perry to the kids, about their dad,
Yes.
um, that whole scenario, doesn't it seem like a very difficult thing for her to do, especially because
For sure.
Mary
Yeah.
Louise is always around and the kids are already saying things like, you never talk about dad. It's a very tricky position for her to be in. I felt
Yep.
that because although she's been with that therapist and she listened to her and it helped her when it came to saving herself from Perry, um, the fact that she has to hide the lie in the sense that actually how did Perry really die? She has
Die.
to hide that from the therapist. I
Therapist.
felt like that is sort of stopping her from maybe opening up as much as she probably should with the therapist.
Yeah.
And also the fact that she says that she needs to push Perry out of her life
System.
altogether,
Yeah.
including her kids' lives.
Kids' lives.
I feel maybe that's what stops her from going back to the therapist and instead going the whole thing of, oh, I need to get Perry out of my system. And the only thing she takes back from the therapist is that you should move on.
Mm.
And she just randomly starts having these one night stands in a
Yeah.
way to erase his memory, right? And then she stops going to the therapist.
I don't think it is to erase his memories, Nandini. It's more because sex
Because
was such a powerful tool that both of them were using on each other.
exactly, but I'm saying that she associated it with him. She associated her whole sex life with Perry. I'm saying she's trying to erase that and sort of get him out of her system because we before that we see that she's watching his videos also, right? She's
Yeah.
not able to forget that side of him. She wants to forget the abusive side of him, but she wants to be selective about it, right?
Mm.
Yeah, and the kind of gratification that she also felt after the abuse when they had sex, she's also
Yeah.
trying to erase that part of her need. So having those one night stands somewhere, she's just looking for if she can find the same gratification without the violence that
Without the violence.
precede that precede the sex bit of it.
But didn't we discuss this in the previous season that where the therapist said that it's probably not like, I mean, I don't think the word gratification was used as such, but what I'm trying to say is that the therapist talks about how she's uh, how the fact that Perry is abusive and it then results in them having sex uh, is a very confusing has given Celeste a very confusing idea of what love is like.
Don't remember that, but I do. I think I am with Deval on the gratification part because I thought that she said the violence, although she did not obviously like the violence, but it always led to good
Yeah,
sex. That is what
yeah.
I
She
remember
Yeah.
said
that she enjoyed.
no. Yeah, she did say that,
Mhm.
but I don't think she. How do I say this?
The
The
therapist tries
confusing,
to
It felt
deconstruct
like
it.
she. I felt like she's almost made herself believe it, but it
Mm.
actually was not the truth. That's how I saw it, that she made herself believe that, and which is why she says this to Mary Louise. She doesn't say this to the therapist. What you just said, that it always led to sex. She said that to Mary Louise, that we were
She did.
violent with each other, and it almost felt like she was trying to um, share the blame. so that Mary Louise
Hmm.
doesn't think less of Perry? Because
Probably.
at that time, because at that time she was not really openly telling Mary Louise about the abuse, right?
Yeah. So, going back to your first point, right? Like when we discussed the first season, the
Yeah.
confusing the love part was also because she was conflicted with the thought that he's a good father. So that love part of it came from multiple places. Where one, he had this great image when it came to them as a couple in front
Yeah.
of the whole world. Secondly, she thought he was an excellent father. And
Yeah.
thirdly, if you remove the violence bit of it, she genuinely believed that he's a good person. Now, for what reason,
Yeah.
we don't know Celeste's background for us to be able to come to that conclusion कि ये क्यों ऐसा सोचती है. Maybe because I
I
think he
mean,
was younger than him, and I don't know. And she may
yeah,
also have had
one,
some. Huh.
yeah, younger, and I think in season 2 they also show us that how they met the first time. Perry, I mean, I think there's a short scene of them talking to each
Yes.
other,
Yes.
and she says that her mom's no more, but father is there, but she doesn't talk to him much. And he says that means I'll have you all for
All to
myself.
myself. Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
So, uh, sorry, what was the so for her, if you remember in the second season also, she struggles. जो उसके recorded video calls होते थे where they are trying to, when they are remote and they are also trying to have sex with each other on the video also. तो वो video देख के ही she's orgasming or whatever, like she's
Yeah.
reaching
In
that
the
level.
beginning, she does, yeah.
So for
Before
her,
she, yeah,
those one night stands were also sort of a validation that she can do this without Perry, in
Without him.
person or
Yeah.
virtual. She's trying to get past that. That's what my take was. I don't know.
she's trying to get past what?
Not needing
Perry as
Perry.
a
Even
Perry
virtually
as a
नहीं चाहिए
system.
था उसको, right? She had to move on. So when she says that for her to be able to move on, she had to get rid of that part of her which still needed Perry.
Yeah. True. But it discourages her from going to the therapist after that, right?
I want to ask
Yeah.
Going
this.
to the therapist after that. And I know I'm getting ahead of myself in terms of the episodes, but this does come up later, right? Where in court, this does come up.
Yeah. But Nandini also at the same time, she was on a cocktail of drugs also, okay? So Celeste's behavior when it came to those one night stands, जो Madeline को भी नहीं पता था. It was a surprise for everybody, including us as an audience.
Yeah. Only Mary Louise and her detectives knew.
Yeah, and I mean, I think Jane knew, right? Because so I think Madeline got to know that she's taking pills when Celeste has an accident, a car accident, correct? Jane के साथ क्या होता है? I think one day I think Celeste wakes up and Mary Louise brings the boys home, and that's when a man is there, and Celeste has no memory of that,
No memory.
bringing that man home. And then I think later Celeste tells Jane about it. And remember that?
Don't remember.
No.
Don't remember.
I think it's at the coffee shop or somewhere where she tells her, and Jane is like, how do you not remember? And I mean, so they sort of know, I guess, but
नहीं तो
yeah,
ये एक वन नाइट स्टैंड तो हमने एज ऑडियंस भी देखा ना कि उसके घर पे शी ब्रॉट
एक
दिस
one night stand पता था.
we thought
Correct.
this was the only one and I think most characters also thought this or only some characters knew about this one thing, but बाद में all that is revealed, I don't think anyone knew about the including Jane.
I think that
Yeah.
choice I really like in terms of writing. We as audience were also surprised when other people were brought up in the court. We were like,
Yeah.
okay, this is a recurring pattern. So how is she gonna come out of this now with the kids? So
Yeah.
that's what the
And
thing
then,
was.
yeah, and that sudden realization that Celeste has, that from like Mary Louise was planning this,
Yeah,
and
बहुत time से.
हाँ, बहुत
Yeah.
time से she was planning it.
Can I ask something?
Yeah.
What is the name of the therapist? Do we remember?
Who? The man?
The therapist lady.
Oh, no.
Same.
No,
Okay,
I
वही
don't.
नाम है उनका,
the
terrorist.
doctor, she is from the local, like she's from the same locality, same town, right?
Correct.
Yeah, yeah.
So do you think she would have, I don't think this was discussed or shown in the but as sort of gossip of the town, yeah, as news, would she have not figured out on her own that Celeste is in some way responsible for the murder of Perry?
But that was not treated as a murder at that time, right? It was and again, as a therapist, I don't think she's supposed to have those kind of professional preconceived notions about the.
No,
Yeah.
I'm saying as a person, yes, no, even if she knew, she would not have let
Yeah.
that judge her, sessions with, or control her sessions or
Yes.
with Celeste. But do you think as a person, मतलब she's a smart lady, uh, at any time did you feel कि इसको तो पता होगा ना कि Celeste ने ये किया है? Especially because she was the one who knew about the whole abuse, I think more than anyone else.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Maybe she had her
suspicions.
suspicions, but I don't know how much she would have known, because
Hmm.
somewhere for her, Celeste was always reluctant to leave him, right? Much less
Hmm.
kill him or physically harm him.
Oh, yeah, that too. Yeah.
Because even in season 1, she asks her, "Do you hit him back?"
Yeah.
And she says that
Hmm.
Never
only when
first.
I'm trying to
Only
stop
when
him.
he does.
Yeah,
Yeah.
defense. Except
And
the one.
that's the thing.
But
Yeah.
also,
Also, sorry, but case-wise, um, only the detective has kept the case open, but for most of the public,
It's
right?
done. It's
It's an
done and
accident.
dusted.
You
Yeah.
guys remember in season 1 when they were discussing the case, the detectives say that why did they just not tell us that it is self-defense? It clearly looks like it is a case of self-defense. They
Yeah,
would
Who
be
she
yeah,
okay
says that?
अगर बोलते हैं, it clearly looks like he was attacking them. तो ये बस बोल देते तो भी थोड़ी कोई उनको कुछ बोलता है, ये लोग झूठ क्यों बोल रहे हैं? दैट वाज द डिटेक्टिव्स प्रॉब्लम कि बोल दो ना कि सेल्फ डिफेंस है, वील ट्रस्ट यू, मतलब we clearly see that it's self defense and
हमारा भी
But
पेपर वर्क खत्म हो.
that was something that even I felt, because uh, 5 लोग versus 1 man, मतलब
Hmm.
सेल्फ डिफेंस बोल देते, और दे वुड हैव सेड दैट हम सब लोग इन्वॉल्व थे, इन द सेंस के मारामारी चल रही थी एंड ही फेल, तो भी चल जात. बट आई गेस
Season
Celeste was
2.
also trying to protect Perry's image.
Season
और
2
रादर
बनाने.
आई थिंक शी वाज अ लॉयर, तो उसने स्प्लिट सेकंड डिसीजन लिया दी रेनाटा ने, राइट?
नहीं,
शी न्यू.
मैडलिन ने बोला ना. मैडलिन
हाँ,
ने बोला.
मैडलिन ने बोला शी वाज गिल्ट ट्रिप में भी बाद में भेजा गया उसको.
जो कि
Yeah.
प्रॉक्सी लॉयर है. अरे मैडलिन इज सुपर वुमन, सो शी
Yeah,
डज
and
Celeste
speaking of lawyers, I just hated Celeste's lawyer. Like he was doing nothing the whole way.
I thought she was pretty.
She was okay.
I
I
didn't
think
like
okay.
it. I was like, यार मतलब Celeste would have been very well on her own. So when she takes the decision कि I'm gonna speak, so I'm like, yeah, I could understand what she's doing, but I was like, थोड़ा थोड़ा effort दिखाओ अपनी तरफ से. Why are you so silent?
उस लॉयर को उसने
But
पता नहीं कितना
Hmm.
बताया भी था सेलेस्ट ने, वो भी नहीं पता ना.
But I guess every lawyer has their own, I suppose, style
I
or
thought she was very rational
method.
and she was treating the case
yeah, मुझे
correctly.
तो मतलब
It's just that
maybe
Celeste
because
was very
yeah, maybe because I
hyper.
was very invested in Celeste winning, so I was
Yeah.
just taking it out on the lawyer. कि ये क्यों कुछ
Hmm.
कर रही
सेलेस्ट
है.
didn't tell her lawyer about the one night stands, right?
no.
हाँ, she didn't tell.
No, no.
The lawyer was blindsided as
He
well,
probably
right?
forget. She probably forgot about them. And video देखे
Hmm.
या photos देखे, अरे ये भी हुआ. She then she remembered.
But that moment again, when since we are at that, right? the moment when Celeste shows the video is so well done. Matlab, the
Yeah.
reaction shot of
बहुत
all of
सही
the
है
women. Oh my god.
एंड हाँ उस टाइम
That
मैडलिन फाइनली रियलाइजेस कि चल क्या रहा था
yeah, the conversation in the car between Madeline and Celeste, that is also
Yeah.
so well ki, matlab Celeste is like, you had no idea, you could never know. And he's like, no, I should have known. I am your best friend. I call myself your best friend. And I had absolutely no idea what's going on in your life. So I like that accountability that Madeline takes on herself about the whole situation.
Hmm. Coming back to, I
एक
mean,
मिनट
going,
about the video.
yeah.
I felt थोड़ा एक cheap trick था वो. Like nobody is believing her until she has the video. That is the kind of like
Yeah,
it was
yeah.
a cop out for me. It was like
We'll
they could have
we'll definitely discuss that because
yeah.
that is something that I felt was not very well thought out,
Not
especially because
necessary also because all of her case was ठीक है बाद में बात करते if you are coming to that later.
no, we will definitely come to that because I have मुझे भी उस पूरी चीज से प्रॉब्लम है,
Yeah.
especially for a one particular reason which I will definitely talk about. But before all of this, since
Yeah.
we were talking about Chloe eavesdropping and telling other kids and all of that, if we could just come back to that and discuss the scene where um, Madeline tells Jane that Ziggy probably knows that Terry is his dad. Um, that scene, I felt, although, yeah, I mean, the
that was a
point of
phone
season two,
conversation right
वगैरह वगैरह, but I just want to discuss what you guys thought about that scene.
पैरों तले जमीन जमीन खिसक गई वाला सीन.
the scene just about Jane realizing या उसके बाद वो जाके जिगी से बात करती है
हाँ वो क्योंकि वो
that entire
immediately
sequence
जाके
basically
Ziggy से
हाँ
बात करती है and she realizes that Ziggy has known for months and he
Yeah.
hasn't brought it up.
हम्म
Whereas पहले वो almost every day he
पूछता
would
था
bring it up.
पूछते हैं.
you would just lie right वो ये बोल के छोड़ देता है
That was also because Ziggy somewhere knew that it was not a normal way in which his parents were together, right?
also Ziggy realizes that his
Yeah.
dad is dead so if Perry is his dad so
And the fact, see, the
I love
twins
Ziggy
knew that Perry was abusive towards his mother. तो वो उसकी माँ को नहीं बताया होगा उसने कि बच्चों को पता ट्विंस को पता है वो they didn't tell Celeste about it but it was easier to talk between the children. I don't know if that's a possibility but
मतलब otherwise we would think कि Jane कभी नहीं बताती उसे about his father, right? If he hadn't
not in the age
found.
that he was. I think he was too young to understand a lot of things, right?
Yeah.
And I think one thing that Jane did not want to do was lie to Ziggy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
हाँ मतलब एक तो वन आई फेल्ट कि इसको कितना गुस्सा आया होगा मेडलिन पे एट दैट पॉइंट डिस्पाइट हर बीइंग गुड फ्रेंड्स विद हर कि ये क्या किया मतलब यू हैव बेसिकली अनडन माय होल सॉर्ट ऑफ एफर्ट ऑन ट्राइंग टू प्रोटेक्ट माय सन who now has a real connection with someone that I did never wanted him to have with. And but yeah.
But since we did talk about Ed, finding out about Madeline's affair, and then they
cheating.
go to the therapist as well, the same therapist, right?
that's
And
Yeah.
I really like the fact that they show that um a, a therapist may be really good, but she may not be the right fit for you.
Yep. And
Because,
didn't end up helping them.
yeah, and that
Yeah.
can happen. That doesn't mean that
And
their problem
despite
is not. Yeah.
in this case, both of them willing to like Perry and Celeste. Perry never wanted to be there. है ना? Here, both of them were more rational than Perry and Celeste, but still the therapist's efforts failed because, as you said, not every therapist is the right fit for you,
Why did they fail?
no matter how they. वो Ed was very vehement about. He was sort of not taking it well, na? He was like, मेरे साथ बुरा हुआ, and she did uh, cheat. So Ed was in his withdrawing mode at that point. He didn't really want to reconcile, I think.
Yeah,
Hmm.
I think he was in that phase where he felt that nothing can save the marriage.
Yeah.
And he also talks to her about how he feels that she didn't really love him. She just saw him as the safest option.
हाँ, वो तो पूरा बोलता है ना कि तुमने मेरे से बात
हाँ,
की थी, you interviewed me for Abigail and not
Yeah.
for anything else.
yeah. And it hurts him that he's like, you told Abigail about it and not me.
Not.
And he's like, and I do consider her as my daughter, and it hurts that you told her about this and not me. And you can't blame him, right? You just can't blame
Oh,
him
of
for it. And
course.
Not at all. Not
you
because
you
I
you
actually
I
like how
mean,
much stand he takes. Even in season
हाँ,
1, especially we
Ed
talked about
shines in season 2. Ed
सीजन
is
2 में तो जो
lovely.
दाढ़ी करके जो नए अवतार में आता है,
थोड़ा तो
दाढ़ी बढ़ा
irritating
के
है,
रादर
matlab
थोड़ा
there
तो
was
irritating है.
a
ना,
little part of me
I
who
don't
was
I liked it.
also rooting के काश बॉनी और एड साथ में होते. They make so much
oh
more
wow.
sense.
हाँ, they make so much, and every scene that they have together, I'm like यार क्या मस्त बनता इनका जोड़िया. And
Exactly.
but इस सब के बीच, so all these scenes with Madeline and Ed, right? I'm like, okay, fine. All of this makes sense considering कि Madeline had an affair in season 1. All of this makes sense. Good for you. The thing that did not make sense and the thing that annoyed me was Tori coming into the
Tori, I
picture.
was
Oh,
getting to that only.
Oh
Oh
my
shit.
जबरदस्ती.
Sorry.
And
I'm like,
she's patronizing him also कि अगर तू cheating भी नहीं होती, still you were on my list of people who I can cheat on.
Correct.
तो ये
I'm
क्या
like,
क्या
That
nobody cares.
वो
Moment.
वो उसकी वाइफ है ना, थिएटर वाले की.
हाँ थिएटर वाले की भाई. Yeah, yeah.
Okay. And did she get a boob job? Was that hinted कि she was sort of flaunting that?
Yeah.
She
Yeah, yeah,
said,
yeah,
nah,
yeah.
she said
Said.
that.
She did it for
अच्छा,
a reason.
since you're
She
talking
meets him
about
in the market, supermarket, and she legit tells it to him.
since you're
It was
talking
written so badly that, I mean, okay, fine, I'll believe you. She's a frivolous character. She just wants to get back at her husband, all of that. ठीक है यार, but
नहीं, but
it
even
came out of nowhere.
and
It just came out of nowhere.
it undoes whatever good moments she had in season 1. Like season 1 में
हाँ, she
मुझे
was थोड़ा
so much.
sympathetic character कि
And she
you
was
felt bad for
extremely
her.
angry at Madeline because she knew it, but she didn't want to admit it. That this is the
since
woman that my husband had cheated
you're
on.
talking about
Season
Ed,
2 में they just पूरा क्या बोलते हैं shat on that.
Comic
हाँ
relief.
यार.
हाँ जी यश बोलिए.
हाँ मैं बोल रही थी कि सीजन 1 में एक सीजन 2 में एक एड का सीन है ना, व्हेन मैडलिन गोज अनहिंज्ड और जाकर वो स्टेज पे चढ़ती है एंड स्टेज पे अपना पूरा
She gives a speech. She gives a
Yeah,
speech.
yeah.
gives a speech in school, right? तो
हाँ.
उस पूरे सीक्वेंस में देयर इज अ सीन जब बोथ निकोल किडमैन एंड एड एक दूसरे को देखते हैं कि व्हाट द हेल इज गोइंग ऑन,
हाँ.
बिकॉज दे जस्ट एक्सचेंज. निकोल उसको बोलती कि तू देख दोनों
तू
पे.
जाना और बोलते तू जाना.
वो मुझे इतना हार्ट वार्मिंग
कोई
और क्यूट
कोई
लगा.
रोको उसे. कोई रोको
That was
उसे.
such a normal, and Ed is standing at the back of the hall because वो तो गुस्सा है, वो तो मैडलिन से बात नहीं कर रहा है,
हाँ हाँ
वो
हाँ.
पीछे कोने में खड़ा है. मैडलिन is sitting next to Ed and Nicole Kidman and Jane, वो बैठी हुई है, and suddenly she gets so involved in her own head कि क्या चल रहा है about that, और
What we need to
क्या
teach our
it was
kids.
about greenery and
हाँ, what we
environment के
should
ऊपर
and
कुछ
should not
हाँ,
teach our kids
teach
वाला.
एनवायरनमेंट को लेके इतनी सेंटी हो जाती है जाके स्टेज पे बोलने लगती है. एंड वो जो दो सीन दैट वाज लाइक सो सीजन 1 वेयर
Yeah,
इतनी
and even
छोटी-छोटी
after
साइड
even after that, Ed is walking out of the auditorium and Nicole Kidman उसको रोक के बोलते हैं nice job by the way Ted, ऐसा कुछ बोलती है उसको and he also says something back and फिर वो चला
हाँ
जाता
वाज हिलेरियस. मैंने लिखा इट वाज सो फनी. मैं उनका एक्सप्रेशंस देख के ही हंसती रह गई थी.
ऐश आपने बोला कि थोड़ा तो इरिटेटिंग था. Did was all his snark and all his sort of
मुझे सीजन
indifference
1
did
से
not
इरिटेटिंग
justify?
लग रहा है.
नहीं मुझे तो
अच्छा Ed
पसंद आया है what irritates
कौन
Ash I am loving about Ed.
एड
कौन
Ed
इरिटेट
Ed
कर
Ed,
रहा है ऐश?
एड
Ed.
क्यों?
मुझे बिल्कुल भी नहीं
मैं
मुझे
तो
तो
बहुत
मजा आया
इरिटेटेड थी जब मैं सीरीज देख रही थी. तो मुझे तो सीरीज
Did
में
you
मेरिल स्ट्रीप पे
did
भी
you
गुस्सा
think
चढ़ रहा
he
था, ठीक है ना.
acted
तो मेरे को
holier
तो
than
सब पे
thou?
इरिटेशन थी.
Did you
हाँ
think he acted holier than thou in the sense कि कुछ ज्यादा ही अच्छा हूँ मैं?
I don't know. I didn't even think. I was just getting irritated. So I don't
Okay.
think I have a rational explanation of anything. But मुझे तो सीजन 1 से थोड़ा अतरंगी रख रहा था. भी नॉर्मल ना, मतलब इतना when you are getting frustrated तो
बेचारा
एक्सप्रेस करो ना कि तुम
बेचारा did
फ्रस्ट्रेट हो.
everything.
मैडलिन का पति है वो, ही कांट बी नॉर्मल.
can't be
नहीं, बट एटलीस्ट
नहीं
मैडलिन को
but
बोल
even
दो ना कि नहीं है मुंह
but
पे,
in the
जो भी
background
है.
he's still working hard ना even when that dinner
बैकग्राउंड
was
में
being
जाके तुम
planned वो
उसके
जाके
साथ,
बॉनी से बात कर रहा है कि ये
हाँ,
डिनर में
बैकग्राउंड
Yeah.
तो
में
आग
जाके तुम
लगेगी अपन
नेथन के
दोनों को ही
साथ
देखना है
लड़ाई झगड़ा कर रहे हो, जब वो नेथन के साथ नहीं करता दैट एंटायर
So
थिंग में.
funny.
आई डोंट थिंक
सीजन
वो
1 में दे
करता है, वो तो
हैव दैट.
नेथन आता है उसके साथ झगड़ने को.
हाँ, और ये भी मारा पीटी करता है. ही इज जस्ट डजंट टॉक
He
अबाउट
is an
सीजन
equal
1 में.
participant in that. इसे भी
हाँ,
गुस्सा
ही इज
आता
I
इक्वल
don't
है.
agree.
पार्टिसिपेंट.
I am I'm abhorring this
Team
Ed
Ed.
hate. I'm
team
team Ed
Ed
all
I
the
am
way.
also
I
team
am
Ed
not
completely team
hating
Ed
on it. I am just saying कि
You
he, or
you are not
which makes
Ed.
him,
सबसे पहले इतना होलियर तो नहीं है तू.
my only point is that it makes
इतना
him
कमा भी
human.
नहीं
ठीक
रहा
है,
है
वो कोई
जैसा
भगवान का इंसान नहीं है, but
हाँ वैसा घर
but
होता मेरा.
या एनीथिंग. मैं तो थोड़ा बहुत इरिटेट हो रही थी कि हाँ ठीक है, मतलब सीजन 2 में बिल्कुल नहीं हो रही थी. यू शुड बी इरिटेटिंग इन सीजन 2. यू डिजर्व टू बी. दैट्स फाइन.
ठीक चलो good job.
But
Redemption.
since we did touch upon that climate change wala thing, I found it so ridiculous that Renata and Gordon hire some sort of a
वो हाँ
हाँ,
child.
right.
I
ड्रेस
don't know,
करके
मधुमक्खी.
वो
like
कुछ तो
एक
हाँ,
थेरेपिस्ट
मधुमक्खी हायर करी.
जो ड्रेस
dressed in
करके
a
Therapist
आती है.
basically. Yeah.
dressed in a costume to find out what is bothering the child. I'm like, oh my god, this seems like such a rich people thing to do.
Exactly.
This is not rich people thing to do. This is crazy people thing to do, more of.
It is so funny. And the way that
Dude, वो
so
थोड़े
conveniently they blame the
साइकी के
school.
अंदर. हम्म.
Sorry?
दोनों रेनाटा का कैरेक्टर हैड वाज वेरी एजी ना. शी हैड दिस साइकोटिक
अरे
साइड टू इट.
सारी एजी तो
Yeah.
सारे ही
And
है.
I find it both Renata and Gordon, especially Renata, find it so convenient to blame the school for Amabella's condition instead of looking at themselves and how their constant bickering is getting to her. You know, they've just
Yeah.
completely ignored that part.
Pass
That
the
is
blame.
parents in any place in the world.
Yeah, I guess. But we haven't spoken about Corey yet. What do you guys think about him?
Good
Who's
addition
Corey?
to Jane's life.
he was
Nice
good
kid.
he was
Acha,
Who's
very
Corey?
good
Who's Corey?
what
Sorry.
is the age difference there? Corey is Jane's boyfriend, new boyfriend.
हाँ वो जो उसके साथ वो जूम में या जो भी
जू वाला
उधर काम करता है वो. हाँ 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 तो.
हाँ, so Nandini, what is the age difference? To me, he seemed very young.
But
Younger
Jane
than
is
teen.
also young.
she
Is
says
Jane?
she points it out that he is
Jane
younger
is
than
in
her.
her mid-20s.
And him?
Yeah, and this guy is supposed to be younger than her. So I'm guessing not by a lot of. I mean, the gap shouldn't be too
I don't
much.
know.
If they're
Actor
seven,
appearance
if the
wise मुझे
kids
लगा
are
कि he is a teenager-ish. पता नहीं क्यों मुझे
no,
ऐसे
if
लगा.
हरकतों के
if she
लिए
had
body
the
जैसी
Ziggy at 16
चेहरा
after
वैसा
her
Yeah,
prom, right?
Okay.
I think mentally she feels like she's much older than him, and
but
because
Bless you.
even when she tells him that she has a kid, it comes as a shock to him because I
Oh,
mean,
she's also
not
youngish.
Yeah.
She's just
नहीं, but
hanging out with Madeline.
दिलजीत भाई, I am with you because
I'll just
उसका
be
चेहरा
back in
थोड़ा
a
सा,
bit.
he has a baby face, kind of a baby face, that
हाँ
guy.
हाँ हाँ.
Maybe that's what. क्योंकि मुझे भी शुरू में लगा कि ऐसा तो नहीं है, but
मुझे लगा कि जैसे some people start their jobs and like this was his first job and
मतलब summer
fresh out of
internship
high
type.
school.
हाँ वैसे.
उस तरीके का. Yeah,
हम्म.
he was obviously mature and to me पता नहीं मुझे, but I'm now thinking as Sumit said कि she had Ziggy when she was what,
Also
16 or
मतलब
something.
उससे
So
मुझे
she's
याद
not
आया,
that old.
सीजन 1 में she has मतलब that cafe वाला guy has a crush on Jane, right?
हाँ
And
हाँ हाँ.
season 2 में they just switch the cafe. मतलब
Yeah.
they don't even address it.
Yeah,
Not
yeah.
only that, cafe ही बदल लेते हैं वो लोग. I
Do you
was
think
like,
they did that just to avoid the whole situation of
Awkwardness.
what happened to that cafe guy?
yes,
Because
I think so. I think
trivia
that was a
night
cop
में,
out. Yeah.
हाँ, because trivia night में she goes with him, ना?
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. So I think it was a cop out कि कैफे ही बदल लेते ना, वो लड़का ही नहीं दिखेगा. That's it.
कोई
नहीं
कोई
नहीं,
देखेगा नहीं
it's
तो
a
किसी
very
को याद
real
नहीं आएगा.
scenario. If your friend has broken up with someone from one particular workplace,
हाँ.
cafe वगैरह, then you move cafes. You don't go to that cafe again.
Yeah, but he was a nice-ish
Yeah,
guy.
it was a nice
He
character.
was, yeah.
Maybe the actor wasn't available.
Or do you
क्या ही
think
करता है,
he
हीरो को मना
got
कर दिया.
scared? He got scared. He didn't want to be involved with the
Very
Monterey
much
fight.
possible. Very much
Monterey.
possible.
Yeah,
Too
yeah.
much drama. Yeah.
उसको ऑलरेडी गॉर्डन ने तो धमकी दे ही दी थी
धमका
कि
दी
मैं
थी.
तेरी दुकान बंद कर दूंगा.
मतलब at that point, even though it was irritating and very क्या बोलते हैं सा high horse पे आते हुए, I kind of understood Gordon कि बीवी को ये कर रहा है. Second season में Gordon had zero negative redeeming qualities. I was like, ये क्या आदमी है ये. I White
First
Lotus देखा है
season में
कि
only we said, right, कि ये शेडी तो लग रहा है, बना कुछ किया नहीं इसने, but the
हाँ,
वो
discussion में we
शक्ल
said कि
ही
ये
वो
शक्ल ही
शक्ल
इसकी
ही
गंदी है.
शक्ल से ही वैसा शेडी आदमी लग रहा
चलिए
था.
ऐसा
या
है.
या
अरे शक्ल और उसके कपड़े भी वैसे रहते. वो जिम वाला जैकेट पहनेगा, वो भी आधी चेन खुली रखेगा.
अरे हाँ, बट सीजन 1 में ही वो डायलॉग था ना, वेयर इन द फर्स्ट एपिसोड इनफैक्ट, वेयर Renata is saying that you don't know how these moms talk about me and all of that,
हाँ.
and then he's like, why is that bothering you and blah blah blah, and then he says that you know women, you want to be
Yeah,
the
yeah.
envy of
Yep.
everybody else, but God help it if you get too much of it. And the expression she has on her face, I mean,
Expression, yeah.
Yeah.
I think his character is established at that point that he's such an idiot. Such
You're
an
not
asshole.
supposed to like him. You're not supposed to like him at all. शुरू से ही.
He did a good job.
Maybe.
The actor did a very good
हाँ.
job of that.
Yes,
मतलब गुस्सा ही आता था उसको
definitely.
देख के.
And he is not a good parent also. Like what is
Not
he
at all.
good at? What the hell is he good at?
He is a good
हाँ,
train
कंपनी चलाता था, वो
train
भी डुबा
driver.
दिया.
He's a good Lego
Trading,
guy.
he's great at
He's good
wasting
Lego
money.
guy.
He's a good twist that was needed.
I don't think he built that Lego even. दो लोग लगाए होंगे, उनको पैसा नहीं लगा.
अरे
And
उसको
that was it.
बेबी सीटर को कि तू चल और पैसे तो ये भी कर.
Recreational activities में थोड़ा और जोड़ दे. यार मुझे वो चेहरा ही याद आ रहा है लॉरा डर्न का when she finds out कि इसको ये भी $1 million मांग रही है.
कितना मांग रहे, कितना, how much did she ask? $1 million?
Something कुछ तो
Something.
एकदम obnoxious number क्या.
No, it
And Renata
was
is शुरू
some
में angry.
300,000 or 30,000 types कुछ था.
28-30,000 मांग रही थी.
हाँ.
नहीं मांगा था.
मिलियन बहुत होता है यार, चिन्मय ऐसे मत कहो.
अरे उसके पास क्या ये नहीं है उसके पास
कुछ
इसीलिए
भी मांगो.
नीलामी चल रही है.
Coming back to Celeste and the whole pill thing we were talking about, that Mary Louise finds her pills and Celeste suddenly begins to feel like Mary Louise is snooping around and all of that. followed by the episode, and by this time Mary Louise has found out about Ziggy, right? And then um, in some ways Celeste is trying to maintain some distance between Mary Louise and her, because Mary Louise is trying to stay close to them, and she's trying to get a place and all of that, right? And I think in Madeline's house they are doing some pumpkin carving or something,
Yeah.
and Mary Louise knows this because the boys told her, and she just lands up there, right? And Celeste is like, why did you come here? And she confronts her and all of that. And I think that's the moment where Celeste hits her, right?
Yeah.
And this happened.
Yeah. Yeah. I wanted to discuss this scene because it felt like a crucial scene. I
In their
mean,
dynamic, in their relationship. Yeah.
yes, I'm not saying that that is what triggered Mary Louise to hire a lawyer. I feel like that was planned way ahead. But maybe it sort of um drove her even further to
Yeah.
ensure that Celeste does not get the children. But I just want to uh, discuss that scene because the words that were exchanged in that scene, especially the things that Mary Louise says, because with
Yeah.
Celeste, I think she hits her, and then I mean she talks to her, and then Mary Louise sort of says things that she shouldn't say. But I'm just trying to understand. Do you think Mary Louise wanted to be hit, or do you think?
Yeah, she was doing it deliberately to provoke
Enticing.
Celeste.
Yeah.
And
To
there were
provoke her.
witnesses there, right? ऐसा नहीं था कि they were in isolation.
नहीं
अपने घर
अलग
पे
गए
नहीं
थे ना.
थे.
नहीं, I think they went to some room or something.
No, but the fact that
I mean, they were in the same house. Yeah.
but the way the conversation started, वहाँ पे जितने लोग थे सबको पता है कि it's not a pleasant conversation.
Plus आवाज आई होगी.
हाँ.
बाहर.
But how do you think she was sure that she would hit her? Is it
क्योंकि
because
उसने
she had
provoke ही
seen
किया
her?
था ना. And if you remember,
But is it because
Louis'
she saw?
expression was calm.
Yes, definitely calm. And do you also think that it's because she had already seen her with the pills, and before that she saw Mary Louise saw Celeste hit one of the boys once.
Push.
Push, yeah.
Push. Like she can't be absolutely sure that she's going to get hit, right?
Worth the try.
Maybe she was trying to get a tantrum out of her and उसने झापड़ मारा तो it was like अरे ये तो अलग level का ही हो गया. But even then, like I said, Mary Louise was prepared for something to happen. She wanted that to happen. फिर वो चिल्लम चिल्ली हो या मतलब झापड़ मार के भी.
Yeah.
What is chillam chilli?
It felt like she was so determined to get the custody of the boys that she almost had a checklist.
Yeah.
You know, because she had already had people to spy on Celeste.
Correct.
And she knew all the pills she was taking. And she also in a way was trying to figure out what kind of a relationship Perry and Celeste had. If you
She had her own notion of it. Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm just trying to understand if this was not Mary Louise, okay, if this was just a concerned parent, how do you think that person would have dealt with this situation, in the sense that the pills are worrying, aren't they? And
Yep.
and Celeste meeting with an accident is worrying again. Her having one night stands is also worrying, right? I mean, all those things are because of strangers in her
Yeah.
house and she doesn't even know it. These are definitely
Yeah.
things that are worrying. But the way that Mary Louise handles it is, I mean, is just far from anybody who cares
वही ना
for
कि
the kids.
Mary
But
Louise का all of these things are worrying, and any you say as you said any other parent or parental figure would try to approach it in a sympathetic way. Mary Louise tries to antagonize her in every possible. मतलब she's not coming from a place of concern or place of trying to make her better, or get her
yeah,
help
she's not.
the help
Yeah.
she's actually she's wants to capitalize on all of these things that she found. And any other parent, if someone who cared for her would have reacted, all of these things are definitely worrying. But if you were a concerned parent or a parental figure, you would have
Precisely.
dealt it differently.
Precisely.
Obviously,
But
So वो
But
हमेशा जब
I
Mary
don't
बोलती
think
है
Louise,
so.
तब
Like the
Mary
point
Louise,
Nandini raised is, I
there
think,
is
also correct. Ki if it was a
in
stranger,
नहीं I'm
then
मेरा ये question है, in no world will a mother want to believe those things about their son till
हाँ
it
तो
is
मैरी
not shown
लोइस
to them.
no
हैज अ
that
लॉट ऑफ
So
क्या कहते
जब
हैं
तक वो
justifications
video,
for her
as soon
behavior.
as she saw the video, she like that was the realization where she was like कि everything, everybody was saying something but no mother wants to believe it. Like she didn't want to believe that that kid slapped somebody, but she had to come to a realization, who Celeste कि हाँ मेरा पति ये है, तो वहां से आया है and all that justification, right? So no mother would have like Mary Louise was all she was trying to do was like I think the whole case was rather to prove कि the son is not whatever they said. It wasn't about the grandkids, in my opinion, from her perspective. She wanted to fight it कि, and the moment she
Protect
saw
the
the video,
image.
she dropped. Like I think she dropped it at that moment. It was not like कि वो video देखने के बाद भी she was fighting for everything out and all that. So I think it was more motherly in that sense that she could not believe that that kid was, and because she's also had that past, right? She's been abusive with that son, so that
I
also
don't think
means
she
that she has to
dropped it.
blame
उसके
for
next
her
दिन भी वो
parents.
रात को
नहीं नहीं
आके
नहीं
बोलती
हाँ her malice continued even after that. So while that might have been the main funda, but she was out to get Celeste, even after
yeah,
finding out that her son was
है।
see
मैं
the
अगर
kind of
see the
problematic
So
basic
husband.
thing was that
before
her
all of
actions
yeah,
and words were not matching. She was continuously even in court saying that I want Celeste to get better. She's not a
Hmm.
bad mother but she's not well. But जिस
Uh,
तरीके से वो actions जो थे उसके, she wanted to implicate Celeste in such a way that the kids would also understand that your mom is not a great mom,
hmm.
which
yeah.
Celeste herself was
going
doing
to
a
the
bad job
kids,
of it.
going to the kids, there was a scene जहाँ पर the kids, one of the kids shouts at Nicole Kidman, "You're a bitch, shut up,
Uh,
bitch," something like that, right?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't remember if the mother-in-law was around, Meryl Streep was around. I don't
She
think she
was.
was. She
I
was.
she
She
was
She
was.
shuts them
She
up and all.
was.
she
वो
was
starting का पहला scene वही है
वही हुआ
नहीं,
season 2 का.
वो पुश करती है वो
And
पुश
she
करती
says
है
that you will
You
not
don't
be like
say
him.
such things
You
in
will
our
नहीं,
not
house.
be like
तो
him.
बोलती है
I'm
वो.
not talking about that scene when she pushes. I'm talking about the
नहीं
scene जब
नहीं
वो डाइनिंग
टेबल पे,
टेबल पे बैठे हैं,
हाँ टेबल पे होते हैं, yeah.
yeah
जब
yeah
वो
उसमें
हाँ तो मैं बोलती थी कि
उसमें हाँ
वो
हाँ
भी तो
बोलिए
प्ले
बोलिए.
हो जाता है ना कि क्या बोलते हैं, how does Nicole Kidman handle all that? She was struggling to handle as a parent, मतलब how to deal with that situation, right? तो you were saying कि मतलब how do so there were signs that things were getting out of hand because she was struggling to deal with the kids as well, right?
Oh,
See,
100%. Yeah.
yeah,
See,
and
but Ash, something that you need to remember is that just like Celeste has a lot of undoing to do because she has had a relationship with Perry, even the kids need that because they have been in an environment where they've seen their mother being abused. They have been in an environment where they have been made to believe that in spite of all that abuse, their father is
The
a
father
hero.
was, yeah.
Yeah.
Because of that reason, I think her struggling is the most natural thing to happen in that situation.
Hmm.
Also, about Mary Louise, I just want to point out one thing that um, Celeste is trying to spare Mary Louise's feelings in the beginning. She does
Shirumani, yeah.
not she does
Hmm.
not outright tell Mary Louise that she was abused. She suggests that she says it the way she had said it to her therapist in the beginning, that they were both in it, that they were violent with each other and that would lead to sex. And Mary Louise finds that very whatever disturbing or
Disturbing.
whatever. And for to her, it seems like, and she suggests it also, that it was probably Celeste's idea because her son was not violent at all and that he was a really sweet boy. Now, later, when it is revealed that Ziggy is also Perry's son,
Correct. Yeah.
they have to have that conversation, and that's when Mary Lewis's character is trying to justify this with
Yeah.
Celeste and with Jane, saying,
Jane.
"Do you think you did something for him to
Yeah.
do that?"
But
She's
all
still not able to accept the fact that Perry could have done something like that. And that is the time when she starts doubting Jane, is when Celeste actually tells her that no, your son was violent with me.
Yep.
Yeah.
I remember.
But even before that, Nandini, even before she accepts that Ziggy is Perry's son, she asks her if she would be willing to take a
DNA.
paternity test.
Yeah, yeah,
DNA
Remember, she
matches.
goes to the workplace and तो पहले तो वो denial ही था कि she was
Yeah.
out to prove that Jane is lying.
yeah,
When she
yeah,
refused to
definitely.
take that test and she very strongly said that Perry is the father, is when she sort
Yeah,
of and we don't know if she still went. See, then she started saying that then I want to be a part of his life, and she started
yeah.
treating Ziggy like the third grandchild. So we don't know कि उसने paternity test कराया या नहीं. It's not like
उसने I don't think paternity test कराया, because there is that scene where so she asks Jane before she sees Ziggy, right? And then she waits around, I think, to talk to Jane again, and then she sees Ziggy, and later on, you see Mary Louise's expression when she looks at Ziggy,
because
and
he looks exactly like the other son.
yeah, yes, the other son. And this is again established later when Jane sees photos of Perry and his brother,
Brother. Mm.
right? And she points it out that Ziggy looks so much like the twin brother.
Other son.
Yeah. So that's definitely something that, is true.
Yeah. It's already 11:35.
Wow.
Hmm.
Just
Yeah,
one
but
second, sorry.
Yeah. Lot of
Nandini, I'll go now. Because the office running. But
हाँ
thanks
हाँ
for doing this. I will enjoy the recording. Bye.
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 Nandini.
bye bye.
और कोई मेन पॉइंट और क्या बचा है अपना मेन पॉइंट?
Bye, Nandini. Bye,
Yeah.
everyone.
Bonnie's
Bye.
Bonnie's arc and her
I think we can.
वो
Yeah, yeah,
secret
yeah.
The
But
only thing
वाला
I wanted to say was, okay, thank you so much for the recommendation. I
Mm.
have thoroughly like it was after a long time I sat and watched the show with my mother, and I getting
yeah,
into the
yeah,
show I had no clue. It just I knew that it was about the because I watched the trailer, five ladies. I had no idea about the sexual abuse thing, no idea about the sexual violence part of it, all of those things. And my mother, those episode two, she was hooked. She was hooked, and she's continuously telling me that no, Arya, you see that Perry is only. Why is Perry not coming in front of Jane, even though she's so close to Celeste and all that?
Yeah.
Through
Yeah.
the show, I'm just trying to track where is Perry meeting Jane, and then finally when it was really revealed and all that, I think her first this was, but so many conversations about abuse, about sexual, this came out in between our conversations because of the show. So thank you so much. We have started watching Broadchurch now, as all the three of us now, and
Nice.
finish season one, season two आधा देखा.
सीजन
बहुत
1
मस्त.
कितना awesome है ना.
Thank you. And thank you so much for the recommendation. By
अरे
the
सीजन
way,
1
यार,
and
के बाद
किसी
क्या
और ने
ओलिविया
नहीं किया
न्यूटन
था
के बारे में
recommend? हाँ.
एकलव्य सीजन 1 के बाद ओलिविया न्यूटन के बारे में कुछ बोलना है. कोई
कोलमैन
शब्द
कोलमैन
बाद में करते
अरे वो तो
प्रीवियस
वो
बॉयज ना ओलिविया न्यूटन कौन होगी
सॉरी ओलिविया कोलमैन का आर कैरेक्टर. अरे यार वो तो मैं छोड़ना. ब्रॉडचर्च आई एम जबरा फैन.
yes, I look forward to and मतलब yeah, in my opinion they could have
ब्रॉडचर्च.
finished the show in season one. I think
यप.
हाँ आई थिंक सीजन 1 मैंने देखा है इट्स
season one
सेल्फ
with a
कंटेन्ड
few
स्टोरी
things
हाँ
in the arc like
शट अप
अरे कोई स्पॉइलर नहीं है
शट अप. नहीं चाहिए, कुछ नहीं चाहिए.
Big Little Lies का season two.
we will
Preconceived notions.
अच्छा, ब्रॉडचर्च की
dissect
चिन्मय ब्रॉडचर्च का बोल रहा था
Broadchurch
फिर.
ए नहीं भाई
later.
ब्रॉडचर्च मत
अरे
बोल
नहीं
नहीं
बिग
देखा
लिटिल
मैंने
अरे
एपिसोड वन
ब्रॉडचर्च
क्या
के
क्या
बारे में क्यों बात कर रहे हैं हम?
नहीं
We will discuss it
अरे
eventually.
मनो का भाई है
Guys,
वैसे
but if we can just come back to Big Little Lies, I think we should now discuss, because it was shown parallelly. We can discuss
Bonnie's
Bonnie's arc if you are interested, or we can straight go to the court hearings.
courtroom.
एक
And
सेकंड. एक जेन का आर्क भी बाकी है ना.
I did
Uh,
bring up Corey, and it went just
और
flying
I
past.
ब्रॉड.
thought Jane was का थोड़ा happy ही रहा इस पूरे season में in
तो
terms
देयर
of
इज दिस सीन. एक
stability.
सीन के बारे में बात करनी थी. देयर इज दिस सीन
हाँ,
बिटवीन जेन एंड हर बॉयफ्रेंड जब वो लोग स्लो डांसिंग करते हैं.
Yeah.
There's nothing happening, just slow dance है. 2 मिनट का 1 मिनट भी नहीं होगा. And this is the first time they meet or second time they meet, I don't know. And he does not know anything. But he knows that something. तब तक उसे पता नहीं. हाँ. But he could, he was empathetic enough to understand there is something going on. And उसने कहा, I'm not going to, I'm not going to lean in for a good night kiss, something like that. I think second date
हाँ,
है. And but can I give you a hug?
हाँ.
वो सीन मुझे इतना प्यारा लगा ना, वो that entire scene. I think it's worth mentioning. इतना beautifully done scene था वो. And they just end up dancing, giggling and dancing, nothing else.
So
Yep, and also highlighted the ramifications of abuse like that
Yeah.
doesn't
Yeah,
really
exactly.
like
Exactly.
after
Even after
that.
that, there is a scene
Yeah,
where they try to get intimate and Gen just can't do it.
yeah.
Yeah,
Which
That
is
was also
after
very
which
sad.
she starts avoiding him.
Yeah.
because she starts thinking about everything that happened to her, and that comes in the way of
or moving on, again
her,
moving on, or yeah,
yeah, which is completely understandable.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
yeah, and yeah, she is not just trying to avoid him because of that, but also because Bonnie tells her that she saw him outside the police station, right? And
Yeah.
then
oh yeah,
and then
yeah,
and then later on she does confront him about it, and then she decides that it's better not to get into it until I think Ziggy brings it up again, and he asks her about him, saying, I think you like him and all of that. And right, is there anything else that we have to discuss about
No, I think
that?
I'm good.
Yeah. We should move on.
Yeah. So I think we can just talk about the court hearings, right? Because um that's like the thing that you know it starts with the second season, that what happens to Celeste and her children, and that's where it ends, right? The last episode. So I think we should talk about how it starts and how everything is going against Celeste, right? Everything starting from what kind of a parent she is, what's the kind of lifestyle she's leading, her, how Mary Louise has so many things against her collected,
Yeah.
and it makes her look the picture that's painted in court make feels like, okay, there's no coming back from this right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just so scary. And at that point, I agree with Chinmay. It does feel like, what is this lawyer doing? But at the same time, there is a lot that Celeste had not shared with the lawyer. So she
Yep.
did not have the complete picture. So I don't
Hmm.
know if the lawyer was incapable or if the lawyer was just not aware of everything, and she thought that it was going to be an easy case, because why would anybody in their right mind take the children away from the mother when their father has just died? I mean, I don't know if she thought she took it lightly or, yeah.
I think Celeste herself did not know the extent to which Mary Louise
Yeah,
collected the evidence.
exactly.
And
And yeah,
Can I say
like you
something?
said, that it was a surprise for the
yeah,
audience as well. Yeah.
it was actually, as an audience, it was a delight that they did not involve us पहले से भी. तो
Yeah.
अपने लिए भी it was such a shock factor that for a few seconds even we were not sure about, where is Celeste really fit to be a mother at this point in time, or does she really
Yeah.
need that help that Mary Louise is insisting on?
Yeah, and Mary Louise's lawyer is a bit of a scumbag.
Yeah.
I mean, the way
Such
he
a
asks
scumbag.
her
I think he's
questions.
just good at his job. Let's really give him the credit.
Bringing to that conversation, I think I don't want to defend Celeste's lawyer, but पहले से ही होता है कि it is वो एक hierarchy हमें दिखा है कि this is the best lawyer, तो Mary Louise has already hired so that Celeste can't get to him, right? और फिर we are left with ऐसी feeling कि this second person that Celeste or the lawyer that Celeste chooses is the second best, like उसी से हमें थोड़ा हमारे दिमाग में she is not really the best. हमें बस एक proxy lawyer
But
मिल गया.
more than that, I felt that Celeste herself is a lawyer, right? So she
हाँ.
faith in her own ability combined with the official lawyer, that it should not be. She knew the nuances of the law. She
तो
just
वही ना कि Celeste
underestimated.
never gave her, एक तो never gave her all the facts, and second she never let her do the job. मतलब everything the way the lawyer suggested, Celeste didn't really go according to that, and always had, maybe because of her lawyer background or whatever, she tried to. I don't know, मतलब I was, because उसके lawyer का जो approach था कि तू शांत रह, ऐसे डील करना है, Celeste would do things differently and sort of spoil the case. Plus क्योंकि उसकी खुद की insecurity थी ना, as we have discussed कि there were so many proofs against her being an able mother and a mother fit to raise these two kids. तो उसकी खुद की insecurity भी थी, plus she was not sharing all the information, which didn't really let this lawyer do her job as well. At end में हमने देखा कि Celeste की खुद की strategy, which came as a surprise to her own lawyer, was what eventually won her the case. But this could have been done through her lawyer also if she had just been open and honest with her lawyer. But वही हमें निकोल किडमैन को as a hero दिखाना था उन्होंने, तो I think, I mean, I didn't see any fault with her lawyer, to be honest.
Hmm. Yeah, even I didn't see any fault with her lawyer. I think somewhere she was also, and in the end, when the last hearing mein, she's the one who's presenting all the facts, like Nicole Kidman herself. तो वो पूछती भी, सवाल भी पूछती when it comes to interrogating Mary Louise about her son who's died and what she
Uh,
said to Perry when in that accident. वो सब कुछ
Yeah.
भी it's Celeste who's talking about it and not the lawyer.
yeah, not the lawyer. Also, is Sare mein the attitude of the judge, who I thought was a very rational person. I think that also was a nice addition, that the judge also controlled the court quite nicely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because even when Celeste is questioned,
Hmm.
and all the facts presented by Mary Louise's lawyer make Celeste look so bad.
Bad, so bad. Yeah.
In spite of all that, she asks her, "Why didn't you share this with your therapist?"
Yeah.
She's asking the questions that matter instead of focusing on just the fact that she was careless. But why was she careless? Why did she do it? Why didn't she tell her therapist? And Nicole Kidman answers all those questions very honestly. That
Uh,
of all the people, I couldn't have told my therapist this.
Yeah.
And all of it makes sense, even though it makes her look bad. I do understand when you say that निकोल किडमन को हीरो दिखाना था, इसीलिए वो अपना केस खुद लड़ती है, and she's told not to do it, she's told it's risky and all of those things. And at the same time, I also understand why they wanted to do it, not just for effect, but also because she knew Mary Louise well enough to know how
100%.
to
Yes.
corner her, right? And when Nicole Kidman was not completely in her senses, under the influence of all the medicines she was taking or alcohol and all the grief, this is the time when she probably felt that she has to do it for her boys. And if she doesn't, you know, show up and use all the skills that she has, then she's going to lose them.
Yeah.
And this is the main thing here that she has in her arsenal, is that she knew about the accident, which Mary Louise did not know.
Yeah. Ki Perry had
But
told her. Yeah.
yeah, but on the last day of the hearing, right before that, when she finds the video, that is something that I was not convinced about. I was
Uh,
still okay with the fact that she represents herself because she feels like she will be able to show the side of Mary Louise that others haven't seen yet. But the video part was not convincing for me, only because Mary Louise was snooping around so much, and she had already sat with the boys and gone through that iPad. She had seen so many pictures, so many videos.
yeah.
I
How
just
did she
find
miss that?
Yeah, I just find it so surprising that somebody who was snooping around so much hired PIs to, see who she's sleeping with, who Celeste is sleeping with, all the one night stands, the fact that she knew that Nicole Kidman won't remember the names of these men. How did she miss that video?
True.
And if she had found it, she would have probably deleted it,
I have
you
a
know.
question. When did Celeste find Nicole Kidman find this video?
Right before the last hearing.
Right before the hearing, yeah. When she
Oh,
was going through the old videos, और
Mhm.
So
वो देख के
she
वो हंस
basic.
रही, she is enjoying
Uh,
the old good old times, and that's when she's
uh,
Mhm.
so basically, that when was dropped in her lap, ki there was
yeah,
nothing, and then that
yeah.
video, that video
Mhm.
showed up. Yeah.
Yeah. And the thing is, mm,
Change की
the
वीडियो ना
therapist,
कोई डिलीट नहीं कर रहा था उसको.
sorry, I didn't catch that.
I mean, sorry, I was like, yeah, to your point, without the video, nobody was ready to believe her.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what Sumit was saying. That why
Yes,
is it
exactly
that
your point. Yeah.
wouldn't they wouldn't believe her? And this is something that the therapist had warned her in season 1 about, right? Where she she did tell her that you have told everybody that Perry is a wonderful father, a wonderful husband, and here you are hiding all your bruises, and no, I mean, you haven't told any of your friends that he abuses you.
Correct.
So
Never reported
why,
him.
yeah,
Yeah.
never reported him. Why will anybody believe you? You do not have pictures of your bruises or anything like that. And um, I know
And
that
she used to
of
blame herself, na, कि मेरी गलती है. कि she was caught in a cycle of abuse, na. She always thought कि मेरी गलती है, इसीलिए पेरी हो रहा है. मतलब somehow she blamed herself for it because I am the bad person. I want some part of me wants this, right?
Yeah.
She
yeah,
always
she
thought
had
that she could.
convinced, yes, she had convinced herself of that, and then she came
Exactly.
out of it, which is why she went and rented a house and
She was coming out
decided
of
to
it
leave
and she
him.
was almost
Yeah.
convinced. And once Perry dies, she is taking 2 steps back, right? Ki, oh shit, this is not what I wanted. I just wanted to go away from him. I don't want my children to go grow up without a dad. So she
Yeah.
almost regressed into it, back into it. Ki, was I right? Was it, justified? I don't know what happened, but she literally regressed into season 1 mode again.
Hmm. But that's what I'm saying, that although
Huh.
you understand where she's coming from and all these things, um, this video thing felt, I mean, yeah, maybe
Cop out.
convenient, yeah, maybe effective, also in the sense that what other way is there to prove that he was in fact abusive?
But it's
And
very
Also explains a
convenient,
lot about
very
the children.
हाँ,
convenient.
yeah,
एक visual medium में it works as a क्या कहते हैं as a twist, like to shock the audience, and it does that job.
Yeah,
But
it
yeah,
does
as
the job.
from a writing point of view, and Sumit can talk more about it, it feels
yeah.
like a cop out.
Yeah.
It's also a trope of legal dramas, or it's
Yeah,
always sunny. Maybe there's an episode where
last
this guy
minute.
comes, where this guy
Yeah.
says, ki, I'm gonna be the guy who's dropping the bombshell. But what's the bombshell? That I don't know. That I'll know at the end.
हाँ,
मैं आके
क्योंकि
drop
वो
कर दूंगा
trope है,
bombshell. Yeah,
क्योंकि
yeah,
वो
that वो
Yeah.
trope है.
trope है.
Yeah.
And although it is sort of established that they are a family where they take a lot of pictures, videos, because even in season 1 they do that. I mean,
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm
yeah.
just saying, I'm just saying that I am trying to look
Mm-hmm.
at it from both sides.
Hmm.
But even then it feels like even Celeste has been going through his videos, like we were talking about earlier, that she was watching videos of him with the sons, and even those calls they had and all of that. It's, I mean, how is it that she did not come across this video before? Mary Louise did not come across this video before. That part was not convincing, but
The
apart from that,
writers of the show did not expect Nandini and company to dissect the episode like that. तो दे रहे हाँ करने दो.
but I don't know. But apart from that, I felt that uh, that whole scene about her, about Celeste talking um about the accident was very effective. The way Mary Louise reacts to what she says. And since Mary Louise has taken the oath also, she has to come clean, right? And she has to talk about um,
But she
the
doesn't,
fact
right?
that no, as in she can't deny that Perry's brother died, and
Yeah,
that
but she does deny कि it is her fault. Yeah, she blamed Perry.
Or that
no,
makes
no,
her a
she
bad mother.
no, she didn't accept. Obviously, she didn't accept that part, but it was very obvious that she felt guilty at that moment. Even if she did not accept that, she was cornered, wasn't she? And like, to everybody, including the judge, it was quite apparent that Mary Louise was guilty of that, and so cannot be then qualified
to
as
take
the
care of.
primary
Yeah.
caretaker for the children. So that point was proven at least. And I suppose, in a way, the way her Mary Louise's lawyer also tried to malign Celeste, maybe that also, in a way, went against Mary Louise. I don't know. I feel like in the last episode, I
Fire
felt that the episode
strategy
before
fired
that,
back. Yeah, the strategy fired back. Yeah.
because in the episode before that, it felt like, oh my god, they've really managed to find everything under the sun against Celeste. But when everything about Mary Louise is revealed, it feels like, okay, everything that they did might actually make them look bad.
Yeah.
So here's a question. Yeah, back to the lawyer conversation that we were having. इसके लॉयर ने कभी भी
किसके?
पेरी yes निकोल किडमैन के लॉयर ने did the lady he was always defending her right उसने कभी पेरी as abusive बात करी क्या
वही ना कि उसके पास इंफॉर्मेशन लिमिटेड थी. आई थिंक हमेशा से उसके पास इंफॉर्मेशन लिमिटेड थी. प्लस शी न्यू हाउ Celeste appeared as a mother. मतलब Celeste always had a weak case. So I think she always wanted to maybe get a joint custody or something. Like she was trying the less risky approaches. She didn't want to go all out क्योंकि उसका जो client है is has such a weak case कि she is trying to mitigate the damages and try to
क्योंकि
get her the best
अगर
possible
इन
deal.
लोगों
She was
ने
not going
मतलब
all out.
हाँ
Yeah.
थोड़ा बहुत अब्यूज की तो बात की थी दैट आई नो ठीक है ना
हाँ, क्योंकि
क्योंकि
they mentioned the therapist as well, ना?
हाँ
Why
they
wasn't
talk about abuse
was the therapist called to testify?
no
I think at one
not
point she did. She was in the court.
no
I don't know. Maybe I'm misremembering.
Because I mean, and then this makes me wonder why not. Even I don't remember if therapist.
I don't remember it
Confidentiality
either.
अलाउड नहीं है
clauses.
ना
वही confidentiality clauses.
So
के वही
I vaguely remember the judge talking about going through the notes
yes
of the therapist.
हाँ, there were she physically maybe not, but I think she was interviewed or she was उसका कुछ तो
yeah
आया था कि हाँ ये therapist के notes है. Yeah.
Yeah.
so मतलब जज को थेरेपिस्ट का जो भी था वो तो पता था राइट तो
हाँ,
जज
हाँ.
वाज इन अ प्लेस टू हाँ तो दे हैड दैट गोइंग फॉर देम आई एम जस्ट ट्राइंग टू थिंक केस पर्सपेक्टिव में कि मतलब व्हाई वीडियो वाज नेसेसरी काइंड ऑफ बट निकोल किडमैन की हर ड्रग अब्यूज प्रॉब्लम जो उसने शुरू कर दी थी दैट इज व्हाट दे वर ट्राइंग टू व्हाट दे वांटेड अ स्ट्रांग विन अगेंस्ट ओके
Yeah.
अच्छा, I want to ask you. Sure. I mean, जैसे if you were a judge, so we've seen evidence कि Mary Louise, because of the whole evidence कि she let her son die and whatever, was not fit to be a primary caretaker. But we also have very strong evidence against Celeste being a fit mother, at least at that point, being with a very active but थोड़ा complicated sexual life. And then with her dependency on drugs. You as a judge, what would your decision have been at that point? I mean,
but
the
the
show
case was
decided.
the case was not should Celeste have the kids the case was the kid should go to the
No,
custody
I'm asking
Nothing.
not from the show से हटके, like
नहीं I'm
if this
talking
came
about
and
the case
uh-huh.
case मगर वो तो मतलब my point was it depends on what the case is right that is what I'm trying to say It is not, the judge is not been asked to question कि मतलब हाँ, कितनी families में कितनी problems होती हैं, but judges थोड़ी involve होते हैं.
नहीं,
That is
मैं
what I'm
आपको
trying
कर
to
रहा हूँ
say.
ना, मैं I'm making you the judge and I'm asking you कि आप क्या decision लेते अगर custody आपको देनी होती between these two parties, like would you select Celeste or would you, I don't know,
Okay,
जो भी
that way.
child services में भेजते या like was that decision of giving the custody to Celeste? I know she's our
Yeah, I
protagonist
think
in
so.
a sense. So would you have made the same decision?
The
There's a
problem
I
with
thing about uh, character evidence, like of all the lawyer reacts video I've watched.
Uh-huh.
Character evidence is not equal to actual evidence. So तुम किसी
Okay.
का character establish कर रहे हो is not equal to if they are fit to
Parent or
uh,
not.
parent or not, or who gets the custody of the child. So based on the evidences, yeah, I would not give to Celeste.
I
हाँ
would
वही
give
कि
to
मेरे को भी
Celeste.
तो
Not
If
Celeste. I would
you
not give to Mary Louise. Sorry.
ना मैरी लुइस तो नॉट वो तो
No,
नहीं
then the default option is Celeste only. I would not.
नहीं
It's
चाइल्ड
not that.
सर्विसेज वाला
No, it's not
भी
that grave a situation to
अच्छा
call
Yeah,
टू
and
ओके
get the
चलो
children into the system because
ओके
because that is the
in any
way
case
worse.
she has a healthy support system around her. That is
ओके
very evident.
Yeah, I would
also,
probably have some court mandated therapy and maybe
Yeah.
add
वो
checks,
तो आई थिंक या शी
but I would not take away
says
the
also
kids from the mother.
okay
That is
okay
traumatic for everybody.
also
Even worse.
the notes given by the therapist
Mm.
will reflect not just the abuse but also uh, the
effort
person
on
that Celeste is, right?
okay
And it's not like, and even on paper if you look at it, it's not like she does not have the educational qualification or the skills to take care of the boys financially,
hmm.
right? If you're looking at it purely in terms of custody, you look at finances, you look at mental health, you look at, I mean, these are the factors usually people look at. So, in that manner, I suppose in a way the psychological evaluation is there in place. The capability of being able to make a living and take care of the boys financially is also present. So, in that manner, if you see, and the fact that the therapist also thinks that she has the capability of moving on from this abuse and taking care of her children, I think there are enough reasons to give her the
give
custody.
the custody okay
Yeah.
one thing I was thoda surprised not surprised but maybe when क्योंकि we have seen the kids having a cordial relationship with their grandmother and they're always happy to see her and in a way the grandmother is sort of grooming them. I don't know. I felt that she was grooming them against or bhadkawing them against their mother. Even if it was not shown on the screen, that was my assumption. Ki she would always say कि तुम्हारी मम्मी अच्छी नहीं है, or try to show that. And then the kids, they have a scene where kids are very much they want to live with Celeste. They don't want to go with their grandmother. With थोड़ा सा मेरे को surprise. I thought कि kids उस चीज में could be a deciding factor कि नहीं हमें तो दादी के साथ रहना है दादी बहुत अच्छी है दादी फन है मम्मी नहीं है because again वही कि she Celeste push भी करती है Celeste and
They're
वो
very
verbal
smart kids.
हाँ maybe
They
वही कि
honestly, they are so perceptive. उन्होंने देखा है, like you have to, मतलब, yeah, I think they are, and they have this thing कि we will protect our mom, right?
हाँ okay
So
so
I
that
think that
comes out
instinct is there. हाँ. Because remember, there is a scene also where they say, I am going to protect you, and Celeste बोलती है, you never have to protect me.
Yeah,
Do never say that. That's not your job. मतलब वो
Yeah.
पेरी वाली जो होता है कि we'll protect.
correct.
plus मेरे को तो I
Sorry,
often
just before
forgot
that,
कि
yeah.
कि
Sorry.
एक किड थोड़ा रैशनल एंड वन इज वायलेंट ऐसा ही है ना कि वन इज more like Perry has learned more from Perry's behavior and one is thoda soft spoken and not soft spoken but maybe nicer but I often forgot which one is which.
Yeah, I
क्योंकि
think
एक
Yeah,
one abused Amabella as well or hit Amabella या जो भी.
yeah. But yeah, Eklavya, I was just reading your comment.
Super chat.
Yeah.
I just have to go and I just wanted to say thank you so much. Lovely conversations came out of it. Look forward to Broadchurch and मेरे लिए तो star was Madeline की बेटी है. Forget her name, but बाप रे
Chloe.
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 Chloe, वैसा
how
सास
does
life
Chloe
में
have
तो
a
life will go so smoothly.
I know Chloe is a chalta firta Shazam. Best song she
अरे
give you
Hey, उसका
और
लेकिन
for
सीजन 2 में
every
कुछ है ही नहीं ज्यादा.
उसका
I
सॉन्ग
missed
मतलब
her
तुम
in
देखो
season
उसका
2.
okay
लेवल का
उसने
when Ziggy when Ed and Madeline make up finally, right? After that wedding wala
the
scene, that
flower
wedding
girl.
scene, that wedding
Yeah,
dress
yeah.
scene is
She
also very
plays a
nice, by the
short
way.
song. Yeah, yeah,
हाँ,
yeah. And even when she sees them hug, right?
right.
Before
That
all
is
of that,
yes,
she
yes.
plays a
That
song.
मैं उसी की
Yeah.
बात कर रही जब वो hug
she
करते हैं
plays a
ना
song.
initially
हाँ.
plays and you hear the music and you know Chloe is playing it. तो वो जो था that was very season 1 की याद आ गई कि you know Chloe is listening in.
एंड
Yeah.
व्हेन ये मैडलिन और ये एड का भी कुछ ये ऐसा मतलब डिफिकल्ट टाइम होता है तो गाड़ी में उसके लिए एक प्लेलिस्ट बना के देती है मैडलिन को सुनने
हाँ
के लिए टू
हाँ
गो थ्रू दैट इमोशन. अरे बहुत मजा. दैट कैरेक्टर वाज एपिक.
मस्त है.
Yeah. Yeah. She was
यस
really
थैंक यू
nice.
सो मच. गुड नाइट टू
Thank you.
Good
एवरीबॉडी.
night.
Thanks. Good night.
Night.
And I think Nikhil already answered
Sumit answered
Manoj,
Nikhil's.
Manoj's question. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
क्या क्या क्वेश्चन था?
Who
अच्छा हाँ.
क्या
about
क्वेश्चन था कोई
writing
पढ़ लो यार.
जो हम sometime back we discussed already, na, the book and this thing.
novella, the
Yeah.
writing part of the show.
Apart from Celeste's court hearing, right? The other things that they have to sort of wrap up is one is Bonnie की माँ finally मर जाती है.
Thank
Like
God.
Oh,
who
so
really
many
cares?
jump scares की अब मुंह पे पिलो कर दिया, अब मुंह पे पिलो कर दिया, अब
हाँ.
मुंह पे पिलो कर.
हाँ
Like 7 times they show that and then कभी वो
हाँ
sleep,
और
she's
फिर वो
sleeping
पिलो
there.
पे सर रख के सो रही है.
I'm like, do it already, kill the woman. I really don't care.
एक
And
बार
मस्त
जब वो
कोल्ड ओपन मिल गया मेरे को. थैंक यू
and then
नंदिनी.
dad shows up. फिर एक सीन है जब वो पिलो फिर वो पिलो के साथ फिजिटिंग कर रही है अपनी and the
हाँ,
dad forgets his key and wallet and is coming in and it's literally set up कि मतलब dad
suspense.
हाँ को दिखता है कि daughter is killing the mother and वो सो रही है which is so ridiculous.
वो ज्यादा हो गया वो तो.
it was such a cheap trick to
वेरी
do.
चीप, वेरी चीप.
Yeah,
And
I'm
you can
like
see
this.
it coming ना. ऐसा देख सकते हो कि she's not going to do that. She's not that kind of a person.
Exactly. One,
Yeah.
she's not that kind of a person. Two, this is not that kind of a show.
Sure,
So
exactly.
this scene felt so forced to me,
Yeah, yeah.
and I don't know. I just did not
हाँ
buy
इसी
that.
yeah
What did you
तूने
guys think of? What did you guys think of the whole thing that Bonnie reads to her mother?
I didn't care for the storyline at all.
मुझे तो
Yeah.
पूरा हाँ प्लॉट लाइन ही ऐसे डिस्ट्रैक्शन
I don't even remember it now that you mentioned it.
and I found that it was also the manipulation that the show was doing to make us question if Bonnie is a grey character.
But she's a black character.
Because she's already killed one. मुझे वो बहुत गुस्सा आ रहा था.
Yeah, मुझे पता
Here's
है
the
क्या
question.
गुस्सा आ रहा था कि season 1 में all the impressions you have of the characters are not through इतना basic thing as dialogue. ठीक है, तुम्हारा हर चीज का exposition dialogue से क्यों हो रहा है? And weren't the flashbacks of the mother and little Bonnie enough for you to
Enough.
understand कि बॉनी ने ऐसा क्यों किया, मुझे तुम स्पून फीड क्यों कर रहे हो, वो भी
Yeah,
लास्ट एपिसोड में, व्हेन आई डोंट केयर। मुझे ये बताओ सिलेस्ट का क्या होता है, बुढ़िया मर गई तो मर गई। बॉनी
Wow.
को वैसे भी बॉनी को तब तक वैसे भी रियलाइज हो चुका था कि she does not want to be with Nathan,
yeah.
and she has already written it down, right? Uh, so I'm just like, did we really need that scene to क्या बोलते हैं, underline the whole situation?
Yeah.
जरूरत ही नहीं थी।
सुमित कोल्ड ओपन होगा
Yeah,
तेरा।
yeah.
Not that
Cold
time.
open into two.
बुढ़िया मर
Can,
गई
can I
is
say,
the
can I say something?
बुढ़िया मर गई,
Uh,
लेट इट बी ओवर विद बुढ़िया मर गई।
I don't care बुढ़िया मर गई।
I am very conflicted about
हंसी नहीं रुक रही अभी।
whether to treat Nandini as posh or not, because she says situation, but she doesn't say education.
Yeah.
She always says situation as opposed to situation, but she says education, but it should be education going with the situation theme. So
I
I'm
Depends
need
opposed
to-
how she says
ये
schedule or
दिलजीत भाई ना
schedule.
सबप्लॉट निकाल रहे हैं which is not actually required.
Nandini, how do you
wanted
pronounce schedule?
wanted
Schedule.
to
हीरोइन तो बोलो।
I need to brush up on my phonetics. I got the point.
नहीं, but
Just,
मतलब
अच्छा बैक टू
just
you
बॉनी।
call
have
her Nandini. Nandini now.
I have a
Just call
यार
her.
ये डिस्कशन रैप अप करो तो
हाँ हाँ
घर
हाँ,
जाए।
हाँ।
अच्छा एक
Well
बॉनी
done.
क्वेश्चन मैं भूल गई क्या?
हाँ,
तो शुरू होते ही खत्म हो।
मैं बोलना करा ना मैं। बॉनी 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 क्या क्वेश्चन, तुम लोग बात करो मुझे याद आएगा। बॉनी 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 बॉनी
अब तुम
पता
बॉनी
बनी
बॉनी
बनी
बॉनी
बनी
बोल रहे हो,
बनी
मुझे पता नहीं
बनी
क्यों
बनी
मुझे गोविंदा याद आ
बॉनी
गया।
बॉनी
कॉली
बॉनी रे
डॉली
बॉनी,
डॉली
प्रेम दीवानी मैं बॉनी।
Jeez. ए बंद करो यार, अभी हो गया नंदिनी रैप
I was, yes, I was just going to say that season 2 ends with Ed and Madeline renewing their vows, right?
Oh, yeah.
And
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know how I feel about that.
I did not like that.
Because
okay with
I
that.
was thinking
That is the only time I found Ed
I'm
genuine.
okay with that, yeah.
हाँ
Yeah, I
Of
was
course
just
you
like,
are okay with that.
I just felt that it came out of nowhere. Because as much as Ed seems like a nice guy and all of that, renewing vows seems like a very
cringy.
out of character thing for him to do. I don't know. I felt
Yeah,
that.
wrapping it up
मुझे सिर्फ ये
with a
लग रहा
clean bow
था,
as
now
a
that Bonnie has dumped Nathan, there is a possibility of Ed and Bonnie. तो मुझे लगा
I'm glad Ed and
आपका
Bonnie.
आपका अलग चल रहा है, आपका अलग लव चल रहा है. So
मुझे
that's
तो
why you
I was
didn't
damn
like.
glad
telling
it was not Ed
people
and
to
Bonnie.
have the right partners.
I was happy about it because मुझे वो थोड़ा genuine लगा, in the sense I like the fact मुझे organic लगा वो, and I like the fact that it was a very close ceremony, nobody was there. It was
That
not
was
Chloe is Ed's daughter, no?
Sorry.
Chloe,
Yeah.
Chloe किसकी बेटी?
छोले
Okay.
उसकी
Ed,
बेटी।
Ed,
मुझे
Ed की
थोड़ा सा बॉलीवुड टाइप लगा.
हाँ, मुझे भी थोड़ा सा forced लगा, and I also understand that it was probably a nice thing to end with for them.
Nice thing also, it made sense because I understand that पहले when they got married, he's right, probably Madeline was not
It
invested in
was
the relationship.
a contract of sorts.
She could definitely see how wrong she was, और she definitely was, मतलब उसको guilt हो रहा था. She was ready to move on. She was sorry about it, and she genuinely पहली बार she was vulnerable with Ed about herself through the entire 2 seasons. वरना she has been a, मतलब पूरा stonewall कर दिया सबको उसने पूरी series में, right? You never really see Madeline be the vulnerable one, except for in front of Ed in the last few episodes.
But being
So
vulnerable doesn't excuse her from the fact that she cheated on him.
100%.
And she's
Mm.
also accepts that.
And that Ed should forgive her.
Yeah.
He should not have.
To
Especially
me,
because they
yeah,
have not really reached a conclusion or a. I mean, there is no conversation that gave closure कि हाँ ये हुआ था. And they are
yeah,
past it now. They've matured enough relationship to move past it. वैसा नहीं
yeah.
था. It just felt very.
Mm-hmm.
End
Uh,
of season thing to do.
I mean,
Yeah. Okay, I
So
see your point.
they did try to go for therapy. They tried that retreat thing, which was worse than therapy.
Oh, that is so
Huh?
funny.
क्या था?
oh God.
And so, as much as I wanted to feel good about the renewing vows thing, I just felt that if instead of that, if they had just left it at
They
Ed
decide to
saying
give it
that
a
he
try.
wants to, yeah, Ed saying that he would like, because it started off with, it's over from Ed's side. At least if they had just suggested that Ed is willing to try again, but
Okay, so this way.
he doesn't
He
want
was
to really say that they are going to live happily ever after. He wants to see where it can go. The renewing
Yeah.
vows thing makes it almost seem like he's ready
Over
to
the
look
top.
past the cheating and um, go ahead with their life. I mean, you can't just look past it, right?
No, I
It's
don't think.
obvious.
Okay, let me put it this way. I don't think that is what it meant for Ed. ठीक है ना? For Ed was कि even if I want to give it a shot again, I want
Hmm.
you to be completely committed and trust me, and then we can give it a shot. जब तक मैं
Hmm.
तुम्हारे को trust, till you commit to me, I'm not even willing to give it a shot again. And to me, this is the way to do it because we are already married. They're already married, right? Whatever. तो मुझे वो लगा कि it is still at exactly the place that you are saying that it is, right?
Hmm.
Want to give it a shot. That is exactly where we are. But मुझे ऐसा लगा कि my interpretation of it was कि Ed is explaining कि even if I want to give it a shot again, I first need to be completely believe that you are, you know, there 100%. So मुझे that was my takeaway kind of.
At my
Hmm.
terms. Ed is like, this will happen
Okay.
at my terms now.
Matlab, that was my thing, and that is why I was kind of okay. That makes sense to me, right? And I
Hmm.
don't think that it is a happily ever after at all. But again,
We'll know in season 3 because they're making it.
I
Acha,
hope
But
is
Ed
Ed the
cheats
only
on.
character?
I hope Ed
Wow.
cheats on
Wow.
Madeline with Bonnie. I'm
Yeah,
really
but
hoping
Wow.
will
for
season 3 happen really? बहुत time हो गया ना अब तो.
2026 दिखा रहा है कि
IMDb पे दिख तो रहा है but एडम स्कॉट भी बिजी हो गया. बहुत सारे लोग अलग अलग प्रोजेक्ट कर रहे हैं. So
I mean, that's what I have heard. Even I think in one interview that it is happening. So I mean, let's
Jane.
see.
I
the
think they should
marriage
just
scene
Yeah.
is
marry.
here.
मतलब, as good as the show it is, I think.
Yeah.
Ziggy
But
और
since we are sort of wrapping up, I just wanted to say that the Jane and Corey scene where finally they are together
yeah,
and she's able to
get
not
past.
think of
Yeah.
everything that had happened to her, which was a nice scene for
That's
sure.
Now see that did not feel
yep.
forced or
Yep.
like
Yeah,
right,
I
but
think
this vow thing did feel that way.
yeah,
Hmm.
because it felt like a step by step thing.
Yeah.
Huh.
Plus,
They were
Corey is
sort of
very good with
each
Ziggy.
other.
So that is a very good bonus. Ki he's very good
Also
with
because
Ziggy.
so many
Ziggy likes his
yes, your
company.
point. Because जब उन दोनों का था, there were so many times they had the conversation. They just were giggling and yeah, I can see that. Yeah.
Mm. And then we see Renata is with her daughter, and Gordon is nowhere to be seen, which is amazing.
Yes.
And then
Amazing.
Mary Louise is driving back to wherever she came from. And Bonnie is with her daughter, and then it ends with the Monterey Five going to the
Separate.
police department, walking towards the
Oh,
Yes,
police
yes.
department.
Yeah.
okay, yeah. I forgot about that.
That's where we've ended. So, if you guys have any last thoughts about this, please talk about it now. Apart from that, I am done with whatever
Forever
I
hold your
wanted to talk.
peace.
My
Same,
my
I-
notes
same.
are done.
So I can tell you that I have one Bonnie thought जो मुझे याद आएगा और मैं पिंग करूंगी, ठीक है ना? But I know I have it somewhere in my
बॉनी के
head.
बारे में सोचते रहा करो. She is
हाँ,
worth that.
मुझे कोई शौक नहीं है, but
चिन्मय के तो सपनों में आती है.
oh हाँ, I
अरे
know.
Do you
Sorry.
आई होप कि रियलिटी में भी आ जाए दिलजीत भाई सपने तो ठीक ही
Question that I have before I forget. Don't you find it very weird that Bonnie season 1 में is the character who's most organic and she's open about every
योगाइश.
thoughts, not yogesh in the sense her thoughts, मतलब वो एकदम
हाँ,
इनको दोनों डॉटर का नाम क्या एबिगेल और इसको नेथन को, she's literally
sorted.
sorted इंसान and very clear about what she's thinking and why she's thinking that. Two, when in reality she has so much, जो उनको season 2 में anxiety about her mother दिखाई है,
हाँ,
वो तो उसको season 1 में भी थी ना पूरा,
But
but
she was
she's never
not
yeah,
around.
without
No?
the murder.
She was not around. She had not killed a person.
She
no,
had
not killed a person,
put
but
that
what I
put
found
that
was
someplace where she didn't access that
she blocked
memory
it
and
up, right?
maybe
हाँ,
blocked it. Yeah.
वो उसने उस
and that
emotion
is
को
what you
respond किया
see.
नहीं.
Yeah, and that is what you see on her face, right? Because that's the reason why I really liked the last episode of first season, is because it's not just the element of surprise of Bonnie pushing Perry, but that expression on her face that even somebody
Sorted.
who seems sorted, somebody who seems calm,
हाँ,
is able to do something like that in a situation like that because now you're making me conscious. Because
हाँ,
of something that was bothering her,
yeah,
right? And at that moment, we don't know what it was, and I was completely fine not knowing that.
हाँ.
Yeah.
But तुझे
You know,
पता है?
कर लो जो करना है, अब पता है.
yeah. But I think we're done with season 2, and if you guys
Hey, I
have any
have like
Yes,
I
please.
like this season. जब खत्म हुआ, I like this season much better than season 1 only for the fact कि वो annoying idiots नहीं थे, जो gossip
Principal and all.
mongers जो थे सारे,
Uh,
वो उनका background noise नहीं था. I was so happy. But इतना this in retrospect it's not as tight as season 1, but Meryl
yeah,
Streep takes it to another level. Yeah.
there are definitely things to like the whole Jane and Corey thing, which we didn't talk a lot about, but I feel that
everyone's
was
acting,
something that
I
was
feel
done
very
well.
मेरा
strong.
favorite trope था वो
Acting
Jane and
wise,
Corey वाला.
acting wise, very strong season as season 1. I think उसमें तो कोई कमी.
Acting का तो
And
खैर
I did
बहुत.
not like that Madeline को sidetrack कर दिया. She was my favorite character in season 1.
मेरे को तो बहुत पसंद है भाई
I
Madeline.
is okay with it. I think जितना मिलना, मतलब जितना ही थी, I think
But ज़्यादा मिले,
she's enough.
first season की she was the lead. Like we were following
भाई
everything through her
Meryl
eyes.
Streep थी वो, she could not.
हाँ.
But ठीक है ना, that is the beauty of it ना, कि season 1 में Madeline निखर के आया character, यहाँ पर Meryl Streep was the main star of the show.
Mary Louise. Yeah. And Sumi, do we want to tell them or would it be for people who might want to read the appeal कि there is one character there which we sort of equated with Mary Louise because of their motivations.
Mary
Yeah. वो, and that's big. Before we realized कि actual क्या थे, हमने पहले ही
Yeah.
बोल दिया था कि वो Mary Louise जैसे ही है. Because it feels so close. Appeal, Nandini should read Appeal definitely.
बहुत
It is
मजा
set
आएगा.
in this world.
It is just alternate universe जैसे मार्वल का होता है ना
अच्छा
20
रिकॉर्डिंग बंद कर दो
people
ना, मुझे एक चीज
हाँ
अरे
देवर से
हाँ
पूछनी है।
एक
प्लीज
मिनट बस
रैप अप करो ना
कुछ
यार।
कह
wrap
तो
up
ले
कर
लो
दो
यार,
नंदिनी।
ये भी कल
हाँ
ऑफिस है, मुझे जाना है अभी।
closing remarks
But
please.
but yeah,
Typical of
closing remarks is that I think unanimously most of us like some things about season 2, but there were things that we had a problem with. Unlike season 1, where I think almost everybody liked season 1, which is why we even bothered to watch season 2. But if season 3 is made, we will definitely discuss it. But for now, we are done discussing this series, and we will meet again when we
Next
decide
year.
For
next
season
series.
3.
But yeah, thanks everyone. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Nandini.
Bye.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, Nandini.
Bye.